This content is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello. Ah!
No, that's good.
I
I couldn't find the thing.
Okay. Yeah, hello everybody and welcome to another exciting episode of Pokemon D&D Wundoro Adventure. Today's going to be a little different. Melissa's manning the production booth, which is a different role for her. Usually it's Matt or myself in previous episodes.
Yep.
But due to this whole quarantine situation, we're between whole cities and we can't all get together in one same place, so our dog is sitting where Matt usually does.
Sleeping like a good boy.
Am I middle of camera? Is it okay?
No, you're not there.
There we go. Mirror myself.
You're invisible.
Not there at all?
Sorry, I missed that part. Yeah, you're not there.
Okay.
Yeah. You just gotta switch the camera on and off and it should work.
I missed it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll look after that. Beauty. Anyways, so yeah, things are a little different, a little strange right now, but we're getting through that. I hope everybody else is all right out there in the world.
Yes, please take care of yourselves and don't leave your
Yes.
house if you don't have to, please.
Yep. The desired location for destinations that the World Health Organization is giving everybody is to stay the fuck inside.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, went grocery shopping the other day. Weird experience.
Yeah.
Had to though. Had to go get dog food. So.
Yeah, I've run into that a couple of times. Although I'm lucky enough that I'm working from home now, so I can just take a lunch break and then walk over to the grocery store when nobody's there and nothing has just been wiped out of stock yet.
You're still not there, Stevie.
I know. I'll fix that in a second here.
'Kay.
I'm just going to read out. Firstly, thank you to everybody who makes this possible. At Joe the DM on Twitter for the Pokemon D&D homebrew that we're playing. It's great. We enjoy it. You can find that at www.pokemon5e.com. Also, thank you to at Mikkel_Beats on Twitter again for the cool Pokemon and Chill soundtrack that we're using in this. It's really neat music, and if you listen to any of the and chill music, you'll probably appreciate it if you like that lo-fi sort of stuffs. Player tokens are brought to you by at Uwoobi, again from Twitter.
Still best friend handle.
Whoopee.
And the rest of the music that you're hearing is from Incompetech.com, aka Kevin MacLeod. That stuff. Yeah, like I was saying before, Matt is joining us over Discord from his own home.
All the more possibilities for technical difficulties.
Yeah, things are going to be a little weird today, but that is a-okay. I'm sure we'll get through this together, through these trying times.
Speaking of, I probably should double check audio levels.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
It sounds fine.
Good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, one of these sessions wouldn't be quite right if we didn't have some sort of issue occur. If I could reach
The things
all
and
the things
stuff.
over there, yeah. You might have to go to the capture device. I know, right?
Oh yeah.
And turn it
Go to
on
the
and
capture
off.
device itself. Yeah.
How to do?
So in the
double click
middle
into the capture
column,
device.
there should be one that
Insert
says DM camera.
Yeah, yeah.
Double click on it.
Yeah.
Did it do anything?
No.
Do you see like a
Go to the
person moving?
No.
Go to the drop down and then select something different. Click done. Click back into it. Go back to the drop down. Select TM cam again.
But there's
Yeah,
so
it's
many
weird.
different drop downs that I can pick.
The one where it says
the
life
top
cam.
one. Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
Bear with us, this is a little odd. While she is doing
Yeah.
that, why don't I get us
This
up
usually
to
happens.
date on when we last left off? Brooke and Jackson heard tell of a rare,
did
powerful
it.
Pokemon spotted north of Brambletown, and upon investigation discovered a mother Exploud whose baby had been stolen away. Moved by the distraught Pokemon, the party offered to help and managed to track down the Houndoom who had done the Pokesnatching, chasing it away, but at a cost. The mother Exploud was left terribly injured and in quite a position. The party managed to bring the mother Exploud to the next town, Haven Town, where they sought medical aid for her. And though it was touch and go throughout the course of the night, she managed to make a full recovery. Since then, the party has been moving northward towards Mount Flag in search of a better habitat for her and her baby to grow in peace. I believe Matt and Melissa both gave me 1-ups last time, so I'll just say, on the last episode of Pokemon D&D... Why are you looking at me like that?
I did not. I just continue.
On the last episode of Pokemon D&D, the party managed to find the second stone that their new friend Calum was after.
Sure did.
Offering to help, as they were the nice guys. But it was difficult going. They hurt themselves along the way, but managed to get down. Afterwards, a bit of a storm broke, and they decided to take shelter. They noticed the Bonsly had their own shelter and joined in with them in this sort of natural fissure in the ground underneath this left excavator that had been abandoned. Climbing inside this hole, they ventured a little bit deeper inside and came across a very aggressive, hungry Mawile. Mawile took a bite out of Jackson, and the two trainers managed to rough it up enough that Jackson landed a successful Pokeball, capturing it. The party has since gone to sleep and is preparing for their next day.
To say that in typical Brook fashion, my dice are rolling shit.
Oh, speaking of rolling, Steve, are you gonna trust me to roll my own, or do you want me rolling in D20?
You can roll your own,
20?
and then just tell me
Okay.
what you got.
Sure.
May
As long as you're okay with that.
May I have another book?
You want another
My
book?
dice are rolling.
I know, I told you.
Well, I also moved the thing since
My dice are rolling.
because you told me to move, so I did, and then it offset everything again. Thank you.
Alrighty. So,
Should be better.
the last time we saw Jackson and Brooke,
Much better, but that was a natural one, so hopefully.
the last time
Oh,
we saw
God.
Jackson and Brooke, you guys had both gone to sleep, cuddling in with your Pokemon.
All my Pokemon, except
All
for
your
Liam, who
Pokemon.
refused to cuddle.
Callum said that he was staying up a little bit longer to sort of just keep watch. He told you that Megby would be there beside you, taking the place of the fire.
Yes.
Waking up, you note that the fire itself has burnt all the way down. There's nothing left of it. But the heat given off by the Megby, who is still in your company, it basically replaces the heat from the fire.
Nice.
There is a little bit of ambient light in this crevice in the ground. Looking up, you can see a little bit of the sky. It is still dark and gloomy, but there's enough sun above the cloud line that it gives away here. You can hear gentle raindrops down the length of this fissure, and the wind continues to blow.
My puppy was curious of the sounds. He also looks really cute. I'm distracted.
You can see Riolu is sitting against one of the walls, having passed out.
Behind me,
Next to you.
all my other Pokemon are there and fine.
Correct. Callum has yet to wake up.
Okay. Well, all my guys are good again. That's the wrong mouse. Oh my god. So, I'm gonna heal everybody back up.
Yeah. Hit that rest button in my app. Everybody took a nap.
Shop it. Oh, baby.
My wiles back up to max hit points.
Yeah, loyalty all the way is like plus 10, right?
Yes. 10 extra
Yeah.
temporary hit points, I believe. Let me double check.
So, +3 Pokemon at this level have an incredible bond with their trainers, willing to risk their own life for their trainer's safety. Pokemon at this level gain an additional 10 HP and
Yeah.
+3 to any saving throw they make.
temporary HP
Correct.
specifically.
Yep.
Just so we don't accidentally stack it.
Yeah. I just have 2 different temporary HPs. And I have to make sure one goes to the correct one and the others go to the other one.
Did I change everything in Roll20 last time? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waking up, Jackson, you see this tall, lanky, tree-like figure before you. He seems to have already waken up and has just been looking around happily. He's very happy. He is almost exploring himself, his new body, right?
That's weird.
He's got arms now, and he seems very interested in grasping his 3-pronged sort of hands together and studying the clack of the hard, greeny tips.
He's like a child that just discovered his hands and his fingers.
Hey,
Cute, I guess.
Hey, Billy. Billy, you remember that thing I showed you how to do last time?
Whoa,
The high five?
Whoa.
We'll reach out for a high five.
He tentatively reaches out and touches your hand.
And you're worried about the dog
Okay.
being the bad one. The producer's already causing problems.
Good, Billy. I'm glad you remembered that. It's still weird. I'm glad I woke up though, so it was not a dream.
He sort of
It's
wraps his
cool.
fingers around your hand.
It's pretty neat.
It's different, that's for sure.
I mean, he's still Billy. Goofy.
I know. I've just never had a rock grab me.
Yeah.
It's a very different experience.
I mean, but Billy's like a rock, but he looks like a tree. I mean, not that a tree grabbing you would be any less weird.
I mean, maybe a little less weird. Because I guess vines can get you tangled up.
True. I'm gonna lock you out.
But he's so cute. Look at him. I
He's
can actually see
also
him, but it look like I
everywhere
can.
he shouldn't be. What's the plan today? Oh yeah, we have to find the like dangerous shit.
Yeah, we have to find that. I can't remember the name of it. That one rock that's in sulfur dioxide, or hydrogen sulfide. That's it. Not sulfur
The
dioxide.
one that's the most concerning.
Yes. The one that we have a silver spoon for.
Yep.
Calum stirs next to you and he says, you mean, tobacite? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see any out there anywhere. I'm kind of curious as to where my father was.
Brooke starts
Meaning?
giving all of her Pokemon breakfast while she's listening and eating
I'm
Russian
gonna do
herself.
the
Yeah,
same,
rations.
popping out Mawile and doing it as well.
Okay.
The tunnel though that we found the Mawile in, did it continue? I was a little preoccupied with prying Jackson from its jaws.
I was a little preoccupied being pried from its jaws too, so
I mean, if there was nothing where we were, then I guess we explore the path, unless there's underwater passageways.
I thought he said that there were vents of that gas.
Calum says, yeah, I mean, that's the impression. I mean, the type of formation that we're looking for tends to naturally occur around volcanic vents, actually.
But these volcanic vents, they could be in underwater tunnels.
Yeah, potentially
Just
so.
saying, I mean, aside from exploring every layer in its entirety, which we haven't done, and this pathway and underwater tunnels that might be present, I mean, now it's starting to sound like a impossible endeavor. Let's start with the tunnel.
Yeah, let's see what we can find further down.
He smiles. He says, I'm sorry if this is a lot. It absolutely is. I don't expect anything of you guys. This has been far too kind of you, to be honest. I'm just
Oh,
a
no,
stranger who came upon you in the field. Like,
No, it's fine. We needed to find a home for our Exploud friend anyways. and
Exactly.
This happened to work out for her, so
And
we
it
might
gives
as well help
her
you over
some more
here.
time to adjust to things if she wants to be here. If we come back and she's really not okay with it, then we can ask her if she wants to leave. But for now, she can get used to it. See if she wants to be here.
It seems like a good fit right now. But
Exactly.
We'll find out when we get back.
Nods. He says, "You're good people. You know that? That's
Yeah, you only got a full of few.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I mean that. I really do. This means a lot.
Well, with 3 of us, it means nobody falls unconscious from toxic gas without being drug out.
Ah,
Exactly.
that's okay. Hmm.
I'm just saying, if you were down here by yourself, all you'd have was Magby.
Fair enough.
Your odds just increased.
He looks down at the Magby and it goes, kind of like, sure, like,
Okay. Are all my Pokemon done eating?
yeah, most of them lined up. Axel was very excited,
Of course.
but the rest of them took the food nicely from you and continued to eat.
Sassy didn't play with it for ages?
A little bit,
Okay.
but not more so than usual. Jackson, very much likewise. Billy was very enthused to be able to take the food with his own hand
Heck yeah.
and eat it, and you can see that he actually like eats it down as opposed to just.
Munching on it for
Gumming it?
God knows how long.
The Mawile, as soon as you release it from the Pokeball, refuses to even look at you. It just wanders down the tunnel a little bit.
Jackson, Mawile, lived here. Maybe Mawile knows.
Oh, that's a good thought. Do you think that... Wait, I need to check something. Out of character. Do you think that she'll cooperate?
Mean... She looks pretty pissed, but I mean, if you talk in the same language, maybe you can, clear, things up.
Callum says, I wouldn't get too close if I were you.
The Mawile.
Oh, that thing almost bit him in half last time. Did you see
Yes.
that headbutt?
I mean, yes, but you saw that I, pried its jaws open and got him out, right?
Fair enough. I mean, it's not that big, but okay. No, don't. It's your Pokemon, not on me.
I mean, I could try. The only thing is, I don't know if I can do it with a Pokemon that doesn't seem to like me just yet.
Oh. But we did it with a random Pokemon. I mean, you did.
Yeah, that's fair. I did do it with Exploud, so we'll screw it. Let's see if we can get it to work, and I'll go up to Mawile and I'll try using my Deep Connection trait.
Ooh. Okay.
Casting Speak with Animals.
So
It does specify to communicate with a willing Pokemon.
true. Looking at your Mawile, you have a lifetime worth of experience reading body language, subtle cues, those sort of things. And though you didn't realize it, it's all led to these sort of moments, right? As a Pokemon trainer, and subconsciously it comes together. Looking towards your Mawile, you've only known her for a small length of time, but there's certain things that are they're beyond species. They cross sentient creatures. You can read the subtle shrug of her shoulders, and it speaks to you like a voice in your head. And as you approach her, you can hear, "Go away. Leave me alone."
Like a moody teenager.
Just trying to be friendly. I'm not trying to rain on your parade or anything.
What do you want with me?
To be a friend?
I don't need any friends.
Have you been alone down here forever? For as long as you've been alive, or are there more of you?
She looks away. Not
Um,
here.
Not here. Well, where is your family from? Maybe we can go and see them?
Looks down. I don't know. Why so many
Well,
questions?
I just want to show you that I mean you no harm, and that I want to have a healthy, friendly relationship.
She kind of turns to look at you and she furrows her brow, and the large mouth type antler that comes off the back of her head opens out, and she shows her large maw and she says, I mean to hurt you.
I've got a ration here that says you won't.
She
And
kind
I'll
of
pull out a
stops.
ration.
Says, what is that?
It's food. You had one last night.
She narrows her eyes and she takes a step closer. Says, why are you giving this to me?
Because I've given one to everybody else. Look, I gave one to Billy. I gave one to Angus. I gave one to Perp, but they all seem to enjoy them.
What do you want in return?
Nothing?
Takes another step closer and snatches it from your hand.
Perfect.
Slowly starts to eat it. She says, I don't trust you, human.
Yeah, I know. I hope I can earn it someday, though.
She doesn't acknowledge.
I do have one question.
She looks back at you. I knew you wanted something.
I don't want anything specifically from you. I just want to know if you know of any specific rocks that are growing around down here. My one friend who's with me is looking for some to go and make these things called fireworks, which are really interesting. I think you might enjoy them. But,
Yeah. Tell her we can maybe see them. We can watch them.
Caleb looks at Brooke and is like, what is he doing?
Talking to the Pokemon.
Oh, that thing. Okay. And he
what
kind of
was
looks
the-
away.
What was the rock again, Callum?
Tobacite. It's a green geometric formation.
Green geometric formation. Okay. And I'll turn back to the Mawal and say it's like a greenish rock. It's probably around areas that are a little more stinky.
She looks away and she says, and what will you do for me if I give you this information?
What do you want?
Looks at your bag and looks back to your hand. And she says, more of that.
More of the rations?
Yes.
I can do that.
She-
Although, to be fair, I was going to be giving you more of those anyways.
She sort of hisses and her giant maw opens up again and hisses itself. And she says, tricksy human. Fine.
Here. I'll give you, here's something that I haven't given to any of my other friends here yet. And I'll dig into my bag and I will pull out a... Let's take out a Sharty berry.
Okay.
I don't have any more of these, but it's one of the most unique things I would have to give you in exchange.
She looks at it and nods.
Now, is a Charty berry, is that one that you like hold and you get a certain effect, or do they eat it and then they have it for so long?
So berries are such a natural item that you can give them to a Pokemon and they can hold on to it, and in a time in which it would be useful to them, so whatever the trigger is, they can take it themselves as a
Bonus action?
free action.
Free action.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so it's the
then I'll-
benefit of giving them items to hold as opposed to having to do something in the middle of battle yourself.
Yeah. And so when I got these, I can't remember when I got these. Oh, I got them from the
The Houndour.
berry bush with the Houndour. Yeah. did I know about the effects of these berries, or did I just pick them up and go, hey, fruit?
You did. Yeah, you rolled really well, if I remember correctly. You knew exactly what each one of these ones. The Charty Berry is
Half
a...
damage from rock type.
Correct. Yeah, you
Yeah.
wrote them all down, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, I wrote them all down. I just wanted to make sure that Jackson was actually aware and it wasn't just a player knowledge thing.
No, absolutely. This is very much a Jackson thing. This is his... Like, this was
Yeah.
his life,
This isn't
largely.
his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other than
exactly.
flowers, like, this is... these are things that you probably would have grown in your own garden.
Perfect. Then I'll tell them a while. If you don't eat it right now and you have it later, like if you get into a scuffle with something that deals, that like throws rocks at you or that sort of thing, it should lessen the effects of that. It'll make you
Nods.
hurt a little less, if that makes sense.
She nods and she says, all right. And she turns and starts wandering down the fissure.
I think we've got a lead.
Yay! I knew she'd know.
Caleb says, what's happening?
She's gonna lead us to the green rock things, I think.
Yeah, she seems to know where they are.
You sure she's not leading us to more of those things?
I don't think so. She seems to not know where the rest of her kind are.
That's upsetting.
Kind of sad.
A little, yes. Maybe we can help her find them. And go pay them a visit or something.
That sounds almost more terrifying. Okay.
I gradually put everybody in their Pokeballs except for Liam.
And I'll do the same.
Give
except
them all
Billy
a
can walk beside me still.
Pats or a scritch.
All right. Caleb sort of pats his thigh, and Megby walks up closer to him and looks up at him.
I reach down to hold Liam's hand.
By this time, the Maw is just gone, continuing walking down.
Does Liam hold my hand?
Liam, hold your hand.
Okay, good.
Begrudgingly.
He's my buddy.
Okay, and you guys follow the Maw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's a single path. It continues to go down. This is, again, it looks somewhat natural and somewhat not in terms of something obviously triggered this disruption in the ground, but it broke in such a way that there's nothing in here that looks carved, per se. The sky can be seen intermittently, and as you continue walking, there's certain points where your head actually gets wet. It's definitely still raining above, and it drips down on top of you. You can see grasses and stuff that is creating silhouettes against the sky above maybe 400 feet at this point. You are that far into the land. And then other parts where it just completely seals up and you can't see the sky at all. But the ambient light from a number of these tunnels, sky tunnels, allows you to continue seeing the entire length of it. It's kind of pretty, the way that the rain drips down the edges of the cavern into the bottom of it, and it kind of drains down. Your general trajectory also is slightly downwards. So it looks like you're going deeper and deeper into the land.
I let
Okay.
Jackson lead with a spoon,
And I will.
and I follow behind.
Okay. You guys kind of hurry a little bit to keep up. Lana's legs aren't especially long, but she seems to be hustling. Every now and then she looks back over at you, and if she sees that you're too far away, she kind of hisses and continues moving.
Yeah. I mean, we walk faster than she does, I think.
I think you do. She's just
Oh,
hustling.
yeah, she's 25, yeah.
She's just.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
just
yeah.
motoring.
Did I shake you out of your jibby spot? I didn't mean to do that. I disturbed the producer. Now he's gonna cause trouble. I would like to keep my ears aware of any sounds that sound like additional Pokemon in the area.
Give me a perception check then.
I didn't roll like Brooke. Wrong mouse. 19.
19. You hear the continued sound
Get your
of
head out of there.
rain above you dripping down. You hear the sound of the wind moving through the cavern. You can hear the shuffling of your own feet and Miles. It creates an echo in here as you guys are moving. You can hear the bonsai behind you,
us.
fairly distant now, and the sound of trumpeting.
Does she sound angry or happy?
Not angry.
Okay.
Yeah. It seems like they're all coming to, waking up, doing whatever they're doing in this morning. They're past your vision at this point in time.
Yeah, I can just hear them.
Yeah. In front of you, at this moment, anyways, you don't hear anything. If anything, actually, I would say you hear something more echoey. It's almost like the space is about to open up.
Okay. It sounds like we're coming up to like maybe an open area, like an open space. There's a lot of echo.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I suppose we'll find out.
Yeah, I guess so.
You watch before you as the land almost drops away decently quickly. You can see that, however, this fissure is broken in the ground, where you've had a pretty easy road down thus far. Suddenly it becomes fairly steep and jagged, moving downwards. Far enough down that you can see a large puddle of water, and you can't see the bottom of that water. Above you, the sky is very clearly visible, and the track is the biggest that it's been thus far. Before you were moving down, and at its widest, it was maybe 10 feet. And here, it's closer to 40 feet wide. Okay. You can also see how the land itself has sort of folded in a little bit. Like some of the nature has started to grow down, but also whenever this fissure occurred, some of the land toppled down. So there's actually trees that are growing out the sides of the walls themselves. And you can see another 70 feet outwards where the land suddenly picks up again. So it's almost like this is one long pitfall.
Okay.
Is Mawile going down?
Mawile has stopped in front of it.
Okay.
So it's down there?
She points across the large gap to where the sort of tunnel keeps going.
Is there any way, like any paths going around that we could just skirt around this place, or?
No, it's a straight rock and then ledges on either side.
How
So if you
wide
can
are the
think
ledges?
to your left and right, wall that just goes straight and then up 400 feet. Right in front of you, there's a drop that doesn't go down like 90 degrees, but like 75, 80, kind of jutting jagged downwards to water below. And a number of trees that are growing out of the
And the
walls.
water is how, from like the ledge that we're on down to the watery bit, how far?
You're looking at probably 50 feet
Okay.
to the water's surface.
And how wide is it? You said like 40?
40 across.
40 with two ledges on either side?
Yeah. No, it's so from where you're standing to the other side
Yeah.
is 70.
Yeah.
From your left to your right
Is
side,
40.
like, is 40.
And it's just sheer, like, 70-degree angle down to this thing on either side?
On to your left and right of you, it's straight up and down.
Oh, okay.
In
And
front
then
of
in front
you,
of
it
is-
drops directly downwards
Right.
at 75, 80 degrees.
Okay.
And there are trees growing out
Out of the
of the
sides.
walls. Yeah,
On the right and left of us.
correct.
And then on the opposite side, which is 70, is it like another really steep incline, or is it like sheer?
It's pretty sheer, but kind of mirroring what you have here. It's almost like when the ground opened up, it happened to hit a natural pocket,
Yeah.
and at that point, the ground itself broke out, leaving this huge
70
crater
feet. How much
between
rope
you
do
and
we
the rest
have?
of the path.
Or how much rope does
Uh,
Caleb have?
50 feet.
It's 70 feet. God, we need rope.
and the trees aren't conveniently growing out of the wall of this cavern to form like a staircase or anything.
It would take some doing, but you could move from one to another to make it to the other side. The closest one to you is about 5 feet up and 5 feet forward.
I have a question. So on the other side, like the 70 feet away, are there trees all the way there?
The majority, they're staggered. So
Yeah.
there's one like
So
5 feet out,
if
there's
we
another one
went-
20 feet out, there's another one,
Okay,
another 20 feet out.
So if we went 50 feet,
hmm
leaving 20 feet into the ledge, how staggered do the trees seem? I'm just processing something in my
Yeah.
head. Is broken.
So it's not perfect, and they're kind of up and down, right?
Mhm.
Some of them isn't necessarily a tree so much as the roots of another tree poking out. The first one, the closest one to you, is about 5 feet up and 5 feet out. The next one's about 20 feet from that. The next one's another 10 feet from that. And they're kind of 5 feet up from the next one, 10 feet down from the next one. They're up and down, so they're not perfect.
Liam, if I tied a rope to you, do you think you could jump from tree to tree to string a rope from here to there and tie it onto a tree
He nods.
about 50 feet out to secure it? At least then we have something to hold on to. What do you think, Jackson?
I think that could work. Does it happen to be? We didn't find any climbing gear around here, did we?
No.
No, there
'Cause-
is no convenient climbing gear in
Because
this
if
abandoned strip mine.
Liam went and he went out, he's smaller. If you can manage to secure it on the other side, then at least we have a rope strung across the tops of the trees. I can stay here holding it for a while and be the last one across. And then first one over just needs to make it that 20 feet.
Yeah, that could work.
It's aided 50. You have an aid assisting you 50%. And then the 20 feet is the last remaining.
We could give it a try.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, if Liam falls, we just get him back into the Pokeball before he hits the water.
Exactly.
He nods.
Is this a risk you're willing to take, buddy?
Looks up. He puts one hand in the other.
Pokeball, if I can. And if I can't, I'm diving in after you. I make that promise.
Fist bumps you.
Okay. I'm gonna... Jackson, are you good at tying knots? Liam can help you.
It would probably be me helping Liam. Let's be real. But I can certainly try.
Okay. Can Jackson aid Liam to tie a rope around himself?
Around Jackson?
No, Liam.
Around
Liam.
Liam
Yeah,
tying
sure.
rope, Jackson assisting. I'm not very dexterous.
I am just as dexterous as you.
Okay.
Okay.
We will both help Liam then.
So.
But
who is-
Liam will lead.
Okay,
Because we
so
at least know what a knot is.
And Liam successfully tied knots the last 2 times, I would like to point out.
correct.
Yep.
So
Sassy
Liam
was the one that messed it up.
Yeah, Sassy fucked it up despite her sleight of hand.
Liam is going to lead this, and he's
Yeah.
going to take pointers from the two of you. So for Liam, you can roll with advantage.
Heck yeah. Oh, hey, GB.
It's Ozzy this time.
Oh, it's Ozzy.
17.
I was wondering what the lack of color was.
17.
Just a void of cat behind you.
Between the three of you, you tie a knot around him.
Okay.
It's basically just a simple around his stomach.
Yes. Now, I would like to point out
Hmm.
that Liam has the athlete feet,
Mm-hmm.
So that means that climbing doesn't cost him any extra movement,
Beauty.
and he can make a running jump after only 5 feet.
Wicked.
So he should be relatively mobile in doing this. Is that
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
to...
At least for the first jump.
Yeah. In doing so, he basically takes a 5-foot run and he jumps almost straight up, catches that first beam, and pulls himself up on top of it.
Good job, Liam. How
And
far
he
is the
looks
next one
over
out?
at you. The next one's 20 feet out.
This is probably the difficult one.
Yeah.
So from here, he's kind of looking back at you, waiting for some direction.
Is there anything that he can make purchase on the wall?
There's a number of small roots that are sort of poking out from the wall itself.
Okay.
He might be able to grab on and whatnot. You'll note, however, that as you're standing here, there's lots of water dripping down the length of the wall,
Mhm.
making it a little muddy, probably a little slippery.
I'm holding on to the rope the whole time so
Mhm.
that if he does fall, he won't fall far. I'm like leading the rope out as needed as he goes.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna try. 20 feet's a long way to jump, so we're gonna try climbing it. Okay. I'm gonna start like pointing to places that he can maybe grab.
Yeah, he's gonna sneak along the length of this tree back towards the one wall where its base is, sort of moving between the branches in it, and he finds the roots that you're pointing at. Said climbing he doesn't have a climb speed though, right?
No, but climbing doesn't cost him any extra movement.
Right. So
So he's not like he's a better climber than the average duck.
correct.
Yeah, if he makes a successful check, he can still move 30 feet while climbing.
Yeah. So give me an athletics check to see how well. Given his
Can't
athletic
be
abilities, it might not be as
He's
difficult for him.
acrobatic as opposed to athletic.
He's more acrobatic. Okay, so he's gonna more.
He's dex based.
Okay, so then if that's what his proficiency in, then he'd probably attempt to swing across them and
Yeah,
catch
he'd do
himself.
it in a more like, yeah,
Yeah, sling himself across as opposed to rock
yeah,
climb.
like swinging his body weight to
Yeah.
catch more acrobatically. You can do it at advantage, you said, or no?
Not this. Not given where you are and where he is. This is Liam needs to make this.
That's a natural one.
Really?
Yeah.
So Liam sees the roots you're pointing out to him. You say, jump up there and do that. He preps himself and he watches that first root and he jumps up to grab it and he does and he slips right off.
He doesn't fall very far.
Yeah,
I was
he
leading
kind
him.
of catches him as it slings over the side of the tree. Can I get you just to make a quick strength save?
For Liam?
For Liam or me? I'm holding on to the rope.
Sorry, for you to
Oh.
catch Liam.
7.
7? That's it? It's not hard. He's not heavy,
Dice are
and you're
fine.
standing there. It nearly pulls you over the edge. But given your preparations and what's happened thus far, he doesn't have too far to pull and too much momentum. So you're fine for the moment, but he nearly pulled you over.
'Kay.
And he's hanging there loosely.
Hey, Billy, let's test those big, strong hands of yours. Can you hold on to the end of the rope too?
Billy looks over at you, Jackson.
I was just about to go over and help, so you might as well come too. We'll both go over.
He sort of walks over and he takes his big
He's
hands
a big, heavy-ass Pokemon.
and he puts his hands over your hands.
No, behind me. Behind me.
And he sort of puts his arms around your middle section and holds on to you.
That helps too.
Give me a Billy hug.
I
haven't got
just
one of those.
pat his hands. Thank you, Billy.
He smiles,
And then
so
I
happy to be useful.
slowly pull up Liam.
Okay.
I know, buddy. How you doing? Yeah, do you want to
always-
try again?
You
Okay.
could always try to make handholds too. If Billy throws rocks at the side of the wall. maybe he can chip away some spots where Liam can get his hands in. If he can't do it again this time, but we believe in you, Liam.
Yeah. What does the structural integrity look like of this wall, though?
The structural integrity of
If
the
Billy
wall.
were to start doing that.
I will note.
Is it a wall or is it like cavern?
Well, it's a cavern wall. So I will note that specifically here, unlike where you moving before, it was primarily stone that had cracked
There's like
and
dirt and
broken.
other.
Here it's
like shale?
lots of shale, actual mud. Again, because of the way that this area sort of broke and the land sort of folded in and spilled over it, it's more topsoil than it is rock.
Brooks dice roll like shit. Okay. Okay, Liam. Let's try again. Do you want to try climbing or you just want to try and leap for it? Totally up to you, buddy.
I don't think you
How
can make a
far is it?
20-foot
Can he?
standing long jump.
No, he can't. I'm just giving him
It's
that option.
20 feet. He sort of
I think climbing's probably best.
he nods.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's give it another try.
'Kay.
I pick a spot closer.
He
Then I
looks
kinda
up
point
and
at it.
he reaches up and he grabs onto the root and he holds it,
Acrobatics.
checking it. Give me an acrobatics check.
15.
Much better.
Yeah.
Billy holds you tightly. Woo woo woo!
Thanks, Billy.
And Ryolu jumps, grabs onto that root, swings and gains a little bit of momentum, swings over and grabs the next one. He slides a little bit and he
Good
holds
job,
on.
bud. Keep going.
And then he does the same and he swings another 5 feet, grabs onto one that's just a little bit below him, and then he pendulums himself just enough to land his feet on the tree in front of him, and then does this very awkward wobble forward with his top half, balancing himself over top of the next tree.
Good job, bud. Good job. That means that the next one, if you fall, we're already 20 feet out. So that's progress still.
Looks back at you and
I know. Good job. Good job. Fist bump in the air. You got this.
Billy squeezes you a little tighter.
And then I survey and find another one and kind of point to it for him.
Okay. The next one's 10 feet out, so probably not as difficult.
Yeah. 10.
10. He swings across, picking his path, much like you did last time. There's a few times when you are legitimately worried that, again, he is going to fall, but he does manage to find the next tree along the way.
Good job. You're almost there. Just a little further, and then you can tie off.
He nods. The next one's about 15 feet out. It's a little bit upwards, so it might be a little bit more difficult to get up to it.
Okay. And that's a 6.
6.
I can't roll good as Brooke. Okay, all my dice are shit.
Okay.
All of them are shit.
Liam's feeling a little cocky as he jumps up to grab the next ones. And he catches the first one, and as he swings, he entirely misjudges the next one. And he starts to fall. Can I get you to make a strength save with advantage because Billy is holding on to you?
I'm holding onto the rope too.
And you're holding
13.
on as well. It's funny because your voice is coming out behind me, and I keep like looking back to talk to you, but you're not there.
I am nowhere.
15? Okay, you catch him.
13.
Thunk. 13 is
I'm in
fine.
your
Okay.
cables.
Thunk. He didn't have very far to fall. There's not very much slack.
How you feeling, bud? Do we tie off here or do you keep going?
Slowly gets reeled back up to the tree, and he catches himself, and he breathes heavily.
Okay.
And he nods.
Okay. Goes out again.
Hey, you. Wait.
My dice are shit! That's a
That was some
7!
loud sass.
The producer's being bad today.
That was a 7.
The 7.
Yeah.
One more time, he reaches out. This time, as he grabs on to the roots and he pulls out what appears to just be a dead bit of tree that was buried in the landslide and has been slowly rotting here.
Yeah.
He can't catch himself in time as he pulls down a half a mountain of dirt that starts going
Is he gonna hit
down
him?
the side. Can I get him to give me a deck save? And can I get you to give me a strength save with advantage?
He needs to make 11 for him. $15 for me.
He's going to take 3 points of just normal type damage as he is struck by stones and falling bits of debris as it comes down. Sorry, your roll was?
15.
15. You, against all odds, managed to hold on with Billy and Jackson behind you. Both of them really dig in their feet to hold you there as you're holding onto this rope, and it's starting to burn your hands, them raw from the day previous.
Yeah.
You actually lose sight of Liam for a long period of time as all this rock and debris fall into the earth below, and it just obscures your sight of Liam as it continues to go.
Liam, buddy!
You see a whole tree dislodge from the side of the wall as the stone and dirt continues to go. And as it does so, you can see Liam is still hanging there, just kind of covering his head, trying to guard himself as stuff keeps falling on him.
Is he on top of the tree yet?
At this point, he's just hanging loosely as
Okay.
the rest of the side of the wall.
I slowly pull him up
stops
onto the
falling.
tree.
He comes back onto the tree, which is now shifted another maybe 5 feet lower than where it was previous. And you can see between him and the other side. So you guys have gone 5 plus 20 is 25 plus 15. Sorry,
40.
plus 10 is 35. So you've gone 35, and there's still 35 feet left. But the trees that were lining that one side of the wall are gone. There's still a few trees that are hanging off the other side of the wall, but they're further away. The next closest one would probably be 20 feet away.
So now here's a question in case we've come down with a big case of the dumb again. Is this an open area or is this enclosed?
You can see the sky.
Okay. So it's 400 feet up to the top of...
Correct. Yeah, you guys were at the bottom of this strip mine when you entered this cavernous space, this fissure in the ground, and intermittently you've been able to stare at the sky as the fissures opened up into open air, and then closed up, and then opened, and then closed up. You're at a point right now where you can see the open sky, and it's the largest and widest that it's been thus far.
So on the opposite side where the rock, where we believe that rock is there... It's still 400 feet up to get to the top, but are there ledges below that? Or is it just the ledge that we're looking to get
I think
to?
Steven said it's 50 feet up to the ledge that we're trying to get to, right?
So between the edge that you're standing on, and I could draw you guys a quick display here.
Sure.
Do you want me to switch?
No, you'll be fine.
Well, you could switch it to it anyway so that the people who are watching can see.
Well, yeah, that's on my end, though. So...
No, don't mean us. I mean viewers.
Do you want me to switch to the encounter, Steven?
Yeah, I didn't realize you weren't on it.
Matt doesn't show up for the encounter, but Jimmy's
Ghibli does.
there.
Oh, you didn't set me up on the encounter screen?
No, we ran out of time. Okay, so let's see here. So I'll draw you 2 views. So one. That is 70 feet. Okay?
Okay.
You guys are here. You want
And
to get
This is 50 feet from the bottom of the water to here.
Yeah.
So
Brooke can probably just climb it.
that is 50 feet to the water. Okay.
What
This
does the
is
ledge look like? Is there spots like...
water.
Is there more footholds and handholds than the wall Brooke climbed previously?
Not particularly, because here is all mud. Okay.
But on this
So-
side, is it all mud?
On this side is all mud as well.
So
Most of
what
this
I'm
cavern
wondering,
area
though-
is mud. So that's one view. If we're looking at it the other way, so wall, you guys are standing right here. You want to get here. Each one of these ones goes up 400 feet. There's water below, and there's trees that grow out kind of like this, right? You guys were traveling along ones that came out of this side when everything here-ish collapsed, but there are still trees coming out the other side. They're just a bit further apart.
And what did that rock slide, so to speak, do to the other side?
The ledge is still there, very obviously. Everything is just far more muddy, and the debris that fell disappeared into the water, which
Oh, so the
gives
water's
you
pretty deep.
yeah, it gives you the impression that this goes down quite a ways, but it's impossible to tell given one how dark it is here, and it's been raining all night, so it could have just filled or been filled, or who knows.
Well,
So my
Jackson-
question is on the way down from here,
Yep.
from this 400 feet up there, is there any other ledges that we could climb down onto, get a footing, then keep climbing down from there, get footing, keep climbing down?
So you're thinking if you guys went up top and then
Yeah.
climbed down?
Yeah.
The walls along here are all slick with mud. Now there might be more open air further this way, but from where you're standing, you don't know.
Okay.
It like you can see a definite ceiling that comes into place somewhere over here, maybe 5-10 feet.
I could try and climb it, Jackson. I climbed
We could
further on
give
the
it a-
other one.
We could give it a try, and if me and Billy hold on to the rope on this side,
Well, if you
dangle it down to you, we can help you climb back up if you can't.
yeah, I'll get Liam to stay there for now, and then if I make it up, I'll retract him. You can pull. No, I'll have to pull the rope up with me. Never mind.
So you guys are 35. He's 35 feet up or out right now, so about halfway, and he's about, we'll say 10 feet up.
But I'd have to take the rope with,
Why would you have to take the rope with you?
because if I climb to the top, how are we getting the rope to me?
We don't need to get the rope to you. Only one person has to get over there, right? Because then you can collect the rock and then come back.
Oh, that's the plan. Okay. If that's what we're doing, then spoon.
Oh, sure. And I'll hand you the rebar with the spoon.
Caleb says, I'm sorry, I might be stating the obvious here, but if he's halfway out already, couldn't you, holding one end of the rope and he fastened the rope there, couldn't you just like swing across?
Oh, I guess we could do that.
I think the tree is strong enough.
Yeah, that's a very fair point.
Well, we can get him to.
You want to Tarzan it across?
No,
could
I
try.
don't.
If we get Liam to tie it off and you recall him into his Pokeball, and then we give it a really hard yank, we can see whether or not it'll support our weight. And then
Okay.
if it does, then we can try swinging.
Well, here's what we'll do then. I'll get Liam to tie it. I'll swim across anyway. Because if it fails, it's worth a try. I won't recall Liam until after I've either successfully or unsuccessfully climbed this wall.
Sure.
And then that way, if we need to untie the rope for any way, shape, or reason, then he's still up there. And we don't lose a rope.
Sounds good.
Okay, so Liam's gonna tie it.
Okay.
Brooke's gonna gracefully, ungracefully, or something slide down. Climb down, not slide down unless I fall.
Okay. So, give me a sleight of hand for Liam to try and tie it.
17.
17. He gets to work doing that. You're gonna try and climb downwards.
Yes.
Okay. Give me an athletics with disadvantage, given the terrain.
That's Liam. 12.
12. Okay.
Athletics is her thing.
This is a difficult climb, and it's not super high, and it makes you think of a steep slide, the way that it's muddy. As you move downwards through it, sort of belly first.
I'm climbing belly first.
Well, your belly would be against the mucky
Oh, I
wall,
was
right?
like face first down the. That's no wonder it's disadvantage.
You are covered in cold, wet earth.
Of course.
It takes you a long time to do so. It's probably a 15-minute workout all the way down here before your feet finally touch the water.
Okay.
You managed to make it fairly well, all things considered. There wasn't any handhelds anywhere along
Now,
it.
as
you
I was
basically just dug in
climbing
your hands
down,
as deep as they could.
As I was climbing down, how far was I able to like my hand in?
Some places
this
deeper,
earth.
like
Okay.
some places you were like reaching your whole arm in. You're like, no, I can't find anything there. And reaching over and grabbing something. It's a collection of rocks
And
that are in there,
roots.
and other stuff you're just not sure, right? Because you're reaching in blindly.
Grabs a dead body. Sorry, wrong game. Okay, and then I'm gonna swim across.
Okay. The swim's easier than the other.
Yeah, shorter distance. Okay. And I'm gonna feel the wall, same kind of texture, I guess.
Very much so.
Okay. And with that, find the best footing I can with my hands, I guess, and start climbing.
Okay.
Really kicking my feet in.
Sure. Give me another
My hands.
athletics with disadvantage again. This might be even harder.
No, sir, it's not. I am ready for this. I was born for this. 18 at disadvantage.
18 at disadvantage. Very good.
Want to know what it would have been at 21 if it was the other way?
Wow. That's your best rolls all night.
I was.
Yeah, you make it up without any real difficulty at all. It's almost a similar amount of time going up as it did to take you down. So another 15 minutes and you are up the other side. Caleb the whole while is waiting and he keeps poking you, Jackson. Is she gonna be all right? That's a heck of a drop.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Hey, wow, look at her go. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Well, at least I know I can climb it if the swinging thing doesn't work. I'm a little concerned about what that means for well, we won't go there. Okay. Let's pull on the tree. And I'm going to recall Liam.
Okay, Liam's looking
Alright.
up and he kind of salutes you. Oh, and then he disappeared inside the red light.
Perfect. So the rope's been tied onto the tree.
It is, yeah. And you're holding the
Awesome.
other end with Callum and Billy and yourself.
Perfect.
And
Then-
Maal is still standing there.
Yeah, I'm just going to give it, get everybody else to let go of it, and I'm just going to give it as good a tug as I can.
Okay. So just give me a strength check then.
Heck yeah. That's not bad. That's with the negative modifier.
Caleb's
Eight,
plan
10.
was to Tarzan an old man across this chasm.
You guys are Pokemon traders. Yeah, okay, you got a 10?
Yeah, 13 minus 3.
You give it a good heave-ho for you. Like, this is a solid Jackson heave-ho. And as you pull, you're like, oh, yeah, that's a good one. And Callum looks on, he's like, yeah, good work. Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's good to go, but if you want a second opinion,
Okay, yeah. Here, then he takes the rope from you. He pulls. You get the
we can
sense.
probably switch back to the RP cam.
You get the sense probably not as hard as you just did. But he goes, oh yeah, seems tight to me.
Perfect. Then I'm going to recall Billy and Mawile.
Okay, Mawile disappears without a word.
And I'm gonna
And
prepare to catch Jackson.
I'm gonna get a bit of a running start as much as I can.
Okay.
And I'm
To
just
any
gonna
part
go
of him
for
I
it.
can.
Okay. Do you say anything? What are your last words?
Yeet.
Yeet!
Okay. This is definitely an acrobatics.
Perfect. It's better than my strength. That's actually a 14. Oh my god.
14.
I'm preparing to catch him on the other side.
Okay. As you swing across, your frail old man body flapping in the wind, the rain beating down on you, you feel the tree shift. You feel this tree shift as you hit the middle point.
Oh, jeez.
And for a minute, you're certain that it's not going to hold, and it doesn't. It actually starts to fall, and you lose about 5 feet before the other end of the tree hits the other end of the wall and stops. And you continue to swing over, looking behind you, sweating, as you propel towards Brooke.
I try to reach out and grab him.
Yeah, absolutely. You reach out to try and grab him, but it's not necessary. Given
Okay.
his great roll, he was ready to catch himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he catches his feet on the other side, his loafers slipping a little bit in the mud, but he is safe and safely across. And
I
Callum
don't
looks
know
across and he goes,
if that was dumb or not.
that's, hey, great work.
But now,
Thanks.
but now Caleb has to stay there, because how do we get the rope back across?
Is there like a large-ish rock on this side?
There's a number of rocks, yeah.
I could tie the rock to the
Okay.
bottom of the rope and then just throw it across, like pendulum it down.
Yep. Is that your goal?
Jackson, can I throw it?
Yeah.
If this is what we're doing?
That was awesome. Throw it back.
Okay. Can I throw it back?
It doesn't have to be a big rock. It can just be a little one that we tie to the bottom.
Yep.
Just to give it that weight.
Oh, so do we want Liam to tie it? Are we rolling for that?
You guys can tie the rock around and throw it back. It's not a difficult task.
Okay. We don't need
and
to
you
roll
pass-
for throwing it.
No. You pass the rock rope back, and Caleb catches it on this other side. And he says,
It's your turn now.
all right, like this, and he backs up a
Well,
little
put
bit.
Magby in the Pokeball first.
Right, Megby, and he pulls her back, and he grabs the rope, and he says, all right.
I'm prepared to catch you.
Yeah,
Alright.
we'll get you.
He jumps off the
Unless-
edge, and as the momentum starts to carry him, the rope continues to go, and he doesn't. He just plummets with a natural 1 straight into the water.
Okay, can I catch the rope?
Yeah, sure. The rope comes across, and you grab it as he goes.
And I pass it to Jackson.
I got it.
Can he swim? Does he look like he can swim?
Well, we're gonna see if he survives the fall first.
Well, as soon as I catch it, Brooke has every intention of diving in.
Hold on. Okay. He hits the surface of the water hard, and there's a splash, and he disappears below the
Okay,
surface.
Brooke's already diving in.
Okay. Give me an athletics check.
13. To dive.
Okay. You do take 6 points of damage as you hit the water surface. Hard, but your proper diving technique managed to save you the majority of it. It's murky and it is gross. This reminds you a lot of another situation where you pulled another person.
Yeah. I swim in the direction that I know I saw him
Okay.
fall. And I try and find him in the water.
Give me a perception check.
This is... There's a 3.
It's a 3. You are looking around in this dark and murky water. It is muddy down here, and you're not sure how deep it is. As you're looking around, you cannot see him.
Am I at least in the same area that he fell?
Yep. You're over at the other ledge.
Yeah, but in the spot where he fell? Swim down.
Okay. You just swim straight down.
Swim straight down until trying to grab.
You start swimming downwards.
Until I know I
reaching.
have to go up.
You move 5-10 feet downwards, and you're still not seeing.
Please don't do this.
Give me another perception check.
Do I happen to see him from where I am?
Give me a perception check.
It's an 11.
It's an 11.
That's a not great. Oh no, that's mobile. That's me.
Is my flashlight waterproof?
4.
Yes.
Can I use it to
Sure.
aid myself?
Sure. If you use it, roll again for advantage. Jackson, from your perspective up here, you can't see anything.
Still an 11.
Both Brooke and Calum have disappeared below the surface of the water. You see Calum below you, and he's continuing to fall. He's probably another 20 feet.
I'm a swimmer!
And sinking.
I am a swimmer!
Yep. So you're quickly gaining on him. With the flashlight, he is very apparently drowning, and quite quickly. He is not looking good. And he is losing...
The minute I make contact with him, I'm pumping 10 points into him and swimming up as fast as I can.
Okay. Yeah, his eyes flicker open.
And then I just swim up.
Yeah, you continue to swim
Haul
up.
him up.
Give me an athletics check real quick.
I'm keeping that. That's not cocked, regardless of if it didn't land in the dice tray. That's a 22.
22. Okay. As you do what is essentially underwater CPR, like very quickly, just like jostling him and trying to pull him up as you swim towards the surface, you do manage to shake him awake. Absolutely. And you fear that he's going to breathe in and suffocate just as quickly as he opens his eyes, but you break the surface and explode outwards. Jackson, you see the two suddenly come into view on the other side here. Calum, seemingly awake. Brooke, likewise, though worried, and he is gasping and coughing.
Cough it out, cough it out.
And he just keeps coughing and sputtering. He inhaled a lot of water.
Yeah, wasted breathing. And I just swim back to the other side.
Okay. Back to the side that Jackson's now
Yeah.
on, or okay. You move him back to that
So
side.
we're gonna undo all that progress.
And you rest against the muddy earth.
Now, clearly you're not a good swinger. Can I assume you're any better of a climber?
He's still catching his breath, and he goes, I don't know.
Hey, did I let you drown?
I-
Did you
no.
drown?
No.
Okay. I know.
Oh,
Brooke, lifeguard.
oh,
You're fine.
oh
I know.
Okay. Just let me catch my breath. And he like scrambles onto the side of the wall as much as he can, trying to hold himself on desperately, and just and he sits there for another like 10 minutes, just heaving, and every now and then He even throws up a little bit.
Yeah.
After a little bit, he collects himself and
Don't suppose you got
Wipes
more
his
rope,
mouth.
do ya?
No, Why would I need 2 bundles?
For situations like this, apparently.
Oh,
Trust me, it's the first thing I'm buying when we get back to town.
do you guys do this all the time?
Not this particular thing, no.
No, but Jackson and I did kind of save another guy from drowning in a hole that my Zigzagoon dug before it was my Zigzagoon. That was a rough day. Hey, Jackson!
Yeah.
You guys live a
Yeah.
colorful life. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, think I'm ready. Okay.
and he's going to attempt to climb.
I'm gonna stay treading water.
He climbs like his life depends on it. Slow and steady and upwards. He climbs better than you did, surprisingly. And he makes it over the top, and he just kind of flops, wet and defeated, over the edge, right in front of Jackson's feet.
Generally speaking, how did he look? Like, did I give him enough hit points?
Yeah, you gave him how much? Sorry,
10.
10. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He looks perfectly fine. The fall hurt him enough to knock him out, like that. Immediately as he sank lower, and he naturally started to try to breathe,
I'm not ready for the Pokemon game to go dark and someone die yet, so
he was very
I was like, no.
he was very quickly suffocating.
Yeah, I
underwater.
know,
Like
I'm
he was
aware.
absolutely drowning. And if
Yeah.
you hadn't have rolled so well to pull him out, yeah, or pumped that HP in him, he would have died
I
very
know.
quickly.
I was not ready for anybody to die in this Pokemon game yet. Not today, sir. This is Pokemon D&D.
And he
Stakes are
lies there.
still high, but I don't want them to be. It's Pokemon.
He reaches into his belt and he pulls out his Pokeball and he lets his Magby go. And the Magby comes out and looks around, sees him on the ground, and goes, "Whack, whack, whack, whack," and goes over and kind of leans itself over top of him. And he puts one arm over it. You can see steam.
Disadvantage athletics to climb.
Yes, please. You can see steam rising off him as the heat from the Magby's
15.
body immediately starts to dry out his clothing. And after a little bit, he pushes Magby away. He says, thanks, Magby.
15.
You climb up without any difficulty. Takes you a while, again, to get up, but you make it over the edge as you see him propped up against the side of the wall with the Magby next to him, very concernedly looking him over.
You're gonna be okay, Caleb.
He breathes. He says,
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Next time your dad sends you on a mission like this to go get some dangerous shit in a mine, ask him for more equipment and maybe assistance.
I was never meant to be a Pokemon trainer. You know, this is not my life. I could have gone to school. Maybe I should have gone to school.
Yeah, you can!
Yeah, you'll have the opportunity to go to school when we're done here.
Exactly.
If I don't drown first, my
You won't.
You're not gonna drown.
oh,
I pried this guy out of a Mawil's maw, and you're fine. Don't worry.
okay.
Oh, speaking of, and I'm gonna pop out Mawile and Billy again.
I will pop out
Okay.
Liam as well.
Mile pops out and she sort of looks over her shoulder at you, shrugs, and kind of rolls her eyes and keeps walking forward.
Is this
Not
rock
giving you guys time to
on
rest.
the end of this rope heavy enough to hold the rope in place if we were to leave it here?
The last thing you did was swing it across.
Yeah, it's just dangling down in the middle right now.
I'll deal with it later.
Yeah.
That's future me's problem.
Halem,
And I'll turn and follow after.
No, that's not true,
Mawile.
Steven. I said caught it and passed it to Jackson and then dived in. Because it swung back.
you sure? I thought you said you threw it back out and you jumped down again.
No,
Okay.
she did give it back to me.
Okay.
But did the rope make it all the way across?
Because it
with
swung.
Yeah.
Did it make it all the way across?
Yeah, there would have been enough momentum. It would have came over if you caught it and passed it
caught
to
it,
Jackson.
passed it
Okay, you
Jackson,
guys got it
dived
on your
in.
side then.
I was like, Why would I just gotcha?
I don't know. Panic?
No. Okay. So is the rock heavy enough that it will hold it in place?
It slowly drags a little bit, but you can drape it over a root and sort of tie it off a little bit. To keep
Yeah.
it
We'll like wrap it around something.
Yeah.
Caleb continues to breathe hard, sitting against the wall, and he says, "Do you mind if I just take a few, or catch up?"
Do you think you're gonna be okay here? With Mawile? I mean,
I,
Megby?
yeah, looks around. Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Sure.
just wait here and we'll be back.
He nods. Okay.
And I take the wooden spoon and give it
The
to
silver
Jackson.
spoon?
The silver spoon. Yeah.
He pulls a water bottle out of his bag and drinks it.
Just
And
don't
spits up a little bit and
don't go anywhere,
drinks a
okay?
little bit more. He nods. Yeah. Okay. And he passes it to Magby and kind of holds it as Magby takes a couple drinks.
Hey, insight check him.
Sure.
Like, is he gonna like freak out and leave?
Give me an insight check.
I mean, judging by how well his first attempt at crossing the chasm on a rope went, I doubt he'll be grabbing that rope anytime soon.
14.
14. Yeah, he's not hiding his emotions at all.
Yeah.
He's still heaving. He looks frightened, but not frightened to run. More like frightened, don't move. Like,
Flight, fright, or freeze. He's freeze.
yeah,
Yeah.
like catch my bearings, figure out what's going on. Just take a few moments to just not think about anything and just stare at the other wall and drink this bottle of water.
Alrighty then. In we go, Jackson.
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
You guys continue to move
Follow
forward.
him a while.
You're caught by surprise by a sound a little ways forward. It sounds to you like maybe Caleb is getting sick again. A lot of
Behind us or in front of us? Coughing. Or a wheezing.
But you realize that it's not coming from behind you, though the sound is echoing. Before you, you see a decently bright light, almost like the sky itself is opened up into another larger-ish chasm. It's narrowed down again to about 10 feet where you are, but further ahead it seems to broaden. Mawile, at this point, stops. Just kind of nods her head towards.
So,
I
in
will
there,
bust
I
out my
guess.
flashlight and I will continue forward, looking for whatever's making that
does
weird sound.
Mawile follow him, or does she just stay there?
Mawile just stands there and watches as Jackson continues to go.
Does she
I'll
seem
recall her.
like
Okay.
cautious concern? Like
More
this
just
isn't a
like,
place-
I did what I was
Okay.
asked to do. Go on.
Okay.
Okay. Mawile disappears inside the Pokeball, and Billy continues to follow you, just with his almost oblivious sort of.
He's almost oblivious Billiness.
Yeah, trips on a stone and knocks into your back, catches himself, and kind of keeps moving forward
Okay, Liam.
clumsily.
I don't think that coughing is Calum. It's not an echo I think's happening. So
He looks at you, and he looks back, and he looks back at you.
after the last thing that we thought might be a person in here not being a person, I don't think this is a person. So
Yeah, I
get-
think that's safe to say.
you get to fight. Ready to go?
Ooh.
Okay.
And he nods.
Keep focused.
And he follows behind you.
And I've got my flashlight out and I'm looking for
Okay.
both the rock and whatever might be making that coughing sound.
Okay.
I'm looking for the coughing.
The flashlight
Specifically.
quickly becomes redundant as you move forward another 5-10 minutes. You can see the sky above you open up. You can see the cavern suddenly drop, but you can also see what seems to be an end, like a solid stop, but not before another drop. Okay. As you come closer to the edge of the drop,
the rain and the wind here, the wind itself blowing fairly hard still, you can feel it for the first time standing in this cavern. It's that open here. And the rain is falling down and peppering you in the face. You also see, very suddenly in front of you, this rumbling sound followed by this geyser.
Oh.
That sprays up, sprinkles down over you. It's a little warm. And then it's followed by this almost slightly tinted purpley greeny gas.
And like,
Okay.
What does the spoon look like?
Okay. The spoon itself isn't affected at all. The gas, which at this point in time seems visible, disperses a bit into the air, and some of it settles down the ledge before you. You haven't looked over the ledge yet. You're standing a ways back from it still, but you can see that there's some sort of activity happening down below.
I'm gonna go and peek my head over the ledge and put my flashlight away.
As you get closer, the sound of coughing intensifies as you hear.
I'm gonna slow down. Make sure.
And you peer over to see
switch maps.
this. You see 4 creatures down at the bottom of this watery sort of deposit at the end of this fissure. In the center of them is what appears to be this geyser. In and around it are
Sorry,
these
is that where we
green
are?
crystalline formations. And quite a few of them,
What is
in fact.
this?
Nothing.
Okay.
So, just to describe the scene that you're looking at here, you see where you are 30 feet up from the base. There are a number of shelves that kind of go downwards. The nearest one is about 10 feet out from you and about 20 feet up.
So
Sorry,
where
20 feet
are
down.
we?
We're at
You're
the top of the map.
Oh, okay. I see.
looking down.
I know, it took me a minute to
Okay.
figure out where we were.
Below you, you see 4 balloon-like creatures. 3 distinctly different than the one other one that is slightly larger. They seem to all be taking turns moving around this geyser, almost shielding themselves by the natural outcroppings of rock from the rain, but also sucking in some of the noxious fumes that are coming off. They themselves inflating before tiny holes in them release gas, and you can hear them cough. And then the next one comes in and does the same, and then the next one comes in and does the same, and then the 4th larger one, which seems to be comprised of 3 separate balloons, each inflates and deflates, pushes one of the other ones out of the way. You can see it's got a big mouth with almost little tusks coming out the side of it. It sucks in a bunch of the gas, and it fills to almost double its size and releases a bunch of the gas from inside of itself. And they seem to just be continuing to repeat this.
Okay, Liam.
They themselves are only about 5 feet off the top of the water. The water doesn't look very deep in this area. But again, you guys are like 35 feet up, and there's a couple shelves that come down from you.
Okay, Liam. I'm sorry, but I think this might be a shuppet thing for a while until they get up here. And I'm going to retract him.
Okay.
And pop out my shuppet. Ah! There. Do we see any of the green stone?
So in and around that center where they are all circling around.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, in here, you can see it's a hole that goes into the ground. Who knows how big? It's, maybe a foot at its widest. And inside of it, it seems to be made of this geometric stone,
But
much
that's
like
also
that
the
was
place
described.
that's
Spewing
spouting the-
gas. You also see a little bit creeping over the edge of the lips. Again, it seems to have been formed from whatever was being given off. Ghibli, Mr. Producer.
And you were worried about Salvador being poorly
Right?
behaved. Good boy, Salv. Disrupt him. Okay. I don't know, Jackson. How do you want to play this? That dangerous gas is probably spewing from the same place that that green rock is.
Yeah. I mean, we might as well try to get lower. See if we can get to that ledge down to our left there.
As you guys are standing there, the geyser erupts again and sprays upwards, and is followed by another bout of gas that goes upwards, dissipates into the air a bit, and some of it settles down into the water around it.
Nothing ever making it up as high as we are.
No, the water spraying down over you is warm. Standing this close to the ledge, I would even say it's hot. You imagine if you were to get any close to you, it would, or any closer to it, it would probably scald you. And the
Then
creatures
never
keep.
mind.
I could get Shuppet to lure them out, but I don't know. Like, if the water is that hot hitting us here, I'm not really comfortable going for a swim in that water.
Would Shuppet be able to collect the rock?
I don't know. He tried to collect the other one. He wasn't super successful. I can send him in.
Oh, if I get Billy to hit the rock and loosen it up, maybe Shuppet can just carry it out.
Maybe we'd have to deal with those Pokemon first.
Yeah, probably. So,
Um,
Melissa, would you mind adding me to the encounter thing? You should just be able to copy the same asset from the other one.
Oh, your camera?
I don't know how I do.
Yeah.
I can do.
I'm not
hold
that
on.
proficient in the thingy. Steven will do
Yeah, 'cause
that, and we'll just talk it through. So, okay, well,
Because if we'll deal with the Pokemon that are there, and then once they're taken care of, we can probably
so
go
Shuppet
ahead and
is pretty stealthy. He could feasibly go check it out, but it's also pretty far away if anything were to happen.
I think we might just have to fight these ones first.
You can withdraw Pokemon 60 feet away, right? So, right? Okay. But once he's in that hole, he'd be more than 60 feet away. It's like 50 feet from this cliff. Maybe.
Yeah. Look, you got the Discord chat behind Melissa now.
Whatever. Good enough. Good enough for today. You gotta give me the mouse. You were worried about Salvador being bad. I think Salvador is Mr. Producer. Like, he's the well-behaved one. Okay. So sorry, Steven. Right now I'm like 55 feet away from the one corner / middle-ish, I guess, of this spout.
Right, you're 55 feet away and 35 feet up.
So it's even further than that. So if Shuppet went in there, it'd be bad. And if we were like,
Well, he'd be a ways out of your recall. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And if we were on this ledge, how far would it put
So
him?
this ledge is one's about 10 feet down, and 10 feet out from you where you are. So that one's about 55 feet away. Hold on. Might be overthinking what I did here. No, so 35 feet down. So many feet. No, so you're right. You're about 55 straight shot towards
Right.
that geyser from
So
where
if
you are right
Shuppet
now.
was in there,
Mhm.
it would put him out of my recall range.
No, he would be just within because you got 60 feet.
He'd
recall.
be just within.
Yeah.
So he could be just within and still interact with those green things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't account for the verticality here. The way that these top-down maps work is a little funny because it's, 25
accounts
feet
for it. Yeah,
up
yeah.
and down, and then 20 feet
Okay.
outwards.
So based
Or 25 or
on the
whatever, yeah.
terrain, I think if Shuppet can get out there and take a look inside stealthily, we can see what we're dealing with, and he can come back. If the things see him, he'll just screech, and Billy can pot shot them from up here, and he can leave the space.
Yeah, sure, we can give that a try.
Let me pull up Vex's stats. Okay, Vex. Here's what's gonna happen, bud. I need you to stealth down. Sneaky as possible. Use the rocks to kind of hide, and then make a really quick move for that open space. Get inside. Take a look at those green rocks. See if you can move any of them, and if you can't, move back here really fast, but as stealthy as you can. Can you do that?
Nods at you.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to need you to give me a stealth check as Shuppet looks over the edge and slowly starts to float over, watching the 4 Pokemon below.
I'm going to have Billy hold an action.
That's it, Kraken baby. 25.
I'm going to have Billy hold an action to rock throw that one, the wheezing.
Okay.
If things go awry.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I want Vex to do, because he has the stealthy feet, and I'm not sure how you ruled it before because he's a ghost. Does that mean he
It's
can
the
just kind of like
Skulker feet?
he has the stealthy feet, which means that he can move up to 10 feet in the wide open without revealing himself from the
Yeah,
stealth.
that's Skulker, not Stealthy. Sorry.
Nope, there's Skulker's different. Skulker, lightly obscured, missing from hidden, doesn't reveal your position.
Right.
Stealthy is one of the Unearthed Arcana ones, which is specific to just giving you stealth as a
Makes you
whatever, plus a
proficient in
little
it
bit other.
or
Yeah.
expertise if you're already proficient, and so your ruling before, because we did this in the field with the bugs, is because he's a ghost. Does that affect it even more so, where he can be out in the open for longer?
So he's still physical, but 10 feet is gonna get him pretty far down here. There's plenty of small rocks and things that are jutting
Well,
out
he can
from the-
stop, right? So he can go
Earth.
down, stop, collect himself, stop, and go.
Exactly. So he rolled phenomenally.
He rolled a natural 20.
Exactly. As he descends down the edge of the cliff, he disappears inside the shadows, essentially, as he moves by. He is a small Pokemon. He is very dark, and he is naturally adept at this. You see him appear behind this rock down here, and he kind of looks up at you, and then he continues to move behind the next rock to his right, circle around the side of it, watching the rest of these Pokemon circling around, taking their turns. As they circle around, inhaling this toxic fume.
If danger comes to perceive him, he's going to screech. 'Cause
Okay.
that's what I told him.
At this point in time, as he's moving around the edge of this, you hear the rumbling start again. Spray over. You kind of shield your face as the hot water sprays over. The Pokemon disperse a little bit outwards, giving it space. But I do need Shuppet to give me a dexterity save.
That's a 3.
Okay, Shuppet is going to take 4 points of fire type damage as it sprays over him. And he feels the hot water scalding him. Further, because he did such a poor job, he was too busy trying to stay concealed from the sight of these other creatures that he wasn't able to properly protect himself from the burning water raining down on him. He is also now burned. Okay, so just to give you an idea, burned is a status, and it does a thing. I don't think we've had a burned Pokemon yet.
They burn
we had-
in damage.
Yep.
And then have their attacks halved.
So a burned creature attacks deal half their normal damage. In addition, the creature takes an amount of damage equal to its proficiency bonus at the beginning of each of its turns until it faints or is cured of its burns.
Okay.
So-
So he takes +2 damage he takes 2 damage every turn.
Correct, at the beginning of every one of his turns. So, because of how this is moving right now, I'm not going to make you roll initiative yet, but we're going to kind of break this down so that we can study this, okay? So, he is currently right there. He is currently unseen, and these other Pokemon are continuing to move around this area. Beginning of your next turn, he takes 2 points. And Shuppet, based on your command, is going to try and make a dash for...
The inside the where the green stuff is.
Okay.
And then Screech only if danger notices him.
Okay.
If the danger notices him, and moves in on him.
Okay.
He's going to Screech.
So, he moves in quickly, like a shadow, basically skidding along the edge of the water surface, hiding behind a few stones that are jutting up. Again, the rocky floor itself isn't smooth, and where it's not covered in water, there's stones coming up and plenty of shadow and rain and wind. It ducks through the cloud created by one of these creatures and disappears inside that hole.
Okay. He's going to try and dislodge a rock.
Okay.
Did
Shuppet
we
would
describe
find...
what kind of rocks we were looking for before we sent him in.
I
Shuppet,
told them the green rocks.
yeah. Shuppet would find it quite easy to do so. In fact, they're almost delicate as they break off in its
Can
sort
he hold
of
them?
grasp. It jellyfishes around them, engulfing.
How many does he get?
You're not sure.
Okay.
You cannot see.
Okay. I would hope he gets as much as he can get
Sure.
without slowing him.
Here's also what's going to happen.
Oh, baby. Can I see him?
No, he's small and he's disappeared inside that hole like you told him to.
Yep.
He is going to take 13 points of poison damage.
Because he's resistant.
Is he? Yeah.
That's why I'm so freaked out.
Yeah. As he pops out of that hole, he seems a little fuller than he was before.
Does he need to roll a stealth again?
He needs to give me one more stealth at disadvantage given his position and what he's carrying.
Those are 2 10s, so it's 15.
Wow. That's actually really good. These creatures continue to rotate across as he appears from the hole and ducks outwards. Take another 2 points of fire type damage.
Okay.
As it gets across the top of the water's surface, almost like a stone bouncing off, and then up the side of the wall towards you. Can you take another point? Another 2 points, sorry.
Okay. Is he within my reach yet?
And he comes up to you and he looks at you. You can see the surface of its body is blackened in a way, and red. He looks
thanks.
visibly hurt.
I'm gonna just stroke down his side, and give him 10 points.
Okay. He heals up a little bit. The burning does not go away, and he still seems to be visibly in pain. But he deposits a handful of stone into your hand. It's kind of crushed a little bit, but you can still see the geometric patterns in what it was. It's a really beautiful rock. But it seems like he's collected almost 2 different rocks. Like there's the rock that you were very visibly after,
Yep.
the one that was described to you, geometric in shape and
Yep.
pattern, crystalline, and another one which is more stone in shape, like a small rock, still green-like,
I pocket it because
um,
that's not what we need.
and it appears to have almost like a pattern on the inside, like something was fossilized inside of it.
Oh,
But
I
it's
pocket that
green and
shit.
almost emerald.
What
like.
is it? Don't know what it is.
Give me an Arcana check.
It's gonna be bad. 11.
11. This isn't a particularly common item, but it is something that you've seen before, and it is something that you have heard of before. You haven't seen it used before, though.
Okay.
It is a leaf stone, a natural occurring, powerful stone that certain Pokemon have an affinity towards, and it lends them evolutionary sort of power.
Good find, Vex. And then I pocket that in my satchel. Do we know how much of this we need? And is Vex gonna keep getting burned?
Yeah.
Jackson, do you know?
I don't know how much we need, and it seems like that's going to be an ongoing thing from what we've seen before. I don't have anything on me that would help with that. I think the last time I used it was with Exploud.
Do we want to go back, see how much of this Caleb needs, and if he has anything? Because if Vex keeps getting hurt, or I can,
We can check.
or if we send somebody like a Pokemon back, and I can send Vex down there for now, as long as he gets back fast enough, I can heal him again.
No, we can go back to Caleb and check and see if this is enough before we do anything else. We can always just come back. Rather than risking Vex again.
Do I know if I put Vex in the Pokeball, if it will just keep hurting him, or if it will stabilize him for now?
Give me a medicine check.
21.
21. Thinking back to your second night as a Pokemon trainer, rushing through the woods after your Pokemon were poisoned by the Spinarak and Ariados. You remember Larry telling you to quickly put your Pokemon in the Pokeballs. And it's almost like a stasis. It holds them in a unmoving, unprogressing state. So while Shuppet may continue to be burned, it will not be further hurt while inside of its Pokeball.
Okay, well, let's go check, and we'll come back, because Vex might be the only one that can get those.
Yeah, I think from everyone that we have so far.
And from a pure safety standpoint, I mean, I have one Pokeball, and I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't be opposed to fighting them and trying to catch one, but this would be a really absurd fight. I got no range, really, except for Vex.
And I've got Billy, and I mean, if we stay up here, we might have to be able to force them up to where
Towards
we are.
us. But I'd like to do that after we get what we get, hopefully.
Yes, I agree. I think for now, it would be best for us to just go back to Caleb and see if we have enough for him, because we can always just come back.
Yeah. Do you have any Pokeballs?
I have none left. I wasted the last one that I had was to catch him a while.
Okay. Well, let's go back to Caleb. See what he has to say.
Sure.
We'll head our way back to Caleb.
Okay. You move back down along the way. As you leave, you hear the geyser go off again, and you feel the warmth hit the back of your neck, and you keep moving. You walk another 10-15 minutes back along the way, and you see Caleb lying against the wall, and as he sees you, he quickly gets up
And he says, "Oh, sorry, I was just coming.
That's okay.
Did you? Is something wrong? Did you get stopped?"
Not exactly, but I have 2 questions for you. One, how much more of this do you need?
He looks over at the small handful that you have, and he says, "Wow, I'm not entirely certain. That's not much. If that's all there is, that's fine. I appreciate
I
it."
mean, there might be
Might be
more.
but we just don't know if we're going to be herding up Pokemon to get
It's
more.
not a
that's all.
great situation, and Vex was able to get it, and he could probably get more, but he got burned the first time.
Oh, is Vex okay?
He's fine, but it's still hurting him, and if I take him out of the ball, he's just gonna get hurt going down and getting it and coming back, even if he's not seen by it. Do you have anything that could help with that?
Yeah, actually. And he reaches into his bag and he says, "I've got 2 of these. They come in handy, working around explosives. Burn heals.
Do you mind?
For you, absolutely here." And
Thank
he gives
you.
you 2 burn heals. He says, "It's the least I can do. I didn't know they would come in handy here. It's just a habit to carry them in my bag with me."
Well, so the situation is kind of like there's a geyser. The water's really hot. It would be really bad for us to go down there, period.
That makes some sense.
yeah.
Volcanic vent and all that.
Yeah, so Vex can probably do it, but if he gets seen in any one of his trips, there's 4 weird gaseous Pokemon down there that Jackson and
Pokemon.
yeah,
They're
that
coughing an awful lot.
they were and kind of wheezing.
Bizarre. That's sounds wholly unnatural.
Yeah, like a bad smoker, honestly.
Um,
But the plan would kind of be to lure them to us to fight them if we had to, because otherwise our Pokemon would be screwed trying to fight them otherwise.
why not lure them away? Like, I'm not sure if I understand.
I
You
mean,
want to fight them?
if we had to fight them.
Was there another side to that chasm that we were just in, or is that like its own room? Would it be possible to lure them away?
So it is open to the air above. So the sky, again, is 400 feet up, but it is open to the sky from there, and it ends there. So that wall across from where you guys are, you still have it up there, is the end of this fissure.
So we might be able to, but I doubt it.
We would only lure them to us if we had to fight.
Exactly. We wouldn't lure them in otherwise.
Okay.
It would just, if you're feeling up for it, maybe better to have another person there. Something happened.
Oh, you mean,
Megby.
Megby.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
only if.
He
But
looks down,
otherwise,
he
you'll
says,
just.
Megby, are you up to that? Megby looks at him and goes, "Wah."
It's only a small if. A small if. Not. Jackson and I don't exactly want to pick a fight unless we have to, because we don't really have Pokeballs, and it would seem counterintuitive.
Okay. Yeah, I am here to help. As you're helping me, I couldn't ask you to do anything if I wasn't there too. Yeah, me and Megby got your back.
Okay, then Vex will help you, and the burn heal will get us somewhere. That's good. Thank you.
Hope so.
Okay, and we make our way back there. Okay.
You guys move with Kaylin behind you.
Yeah.
The 2 of you dripping.
I will immediately burn heal Vex.
Okay.
And just give him 1 more extra point.
Okay.
With the last of, well, not the last of my Healy handsies. I still have some. I have 4 hands left. But it puts him at full before he goes in.
Okay.
in a fight, we don't exactly know how much range they have, so hopefully they need to get in close.
Exactly. So if Vex isn't seen, then Billy gets the first few pot shots off, which is good.
Exactly.
And I know Billy's got my back, right, Billy?
Ooh.
Go to high five him,
Okay,
or will he only high five Jackson?
No, he looks at you and he doesn't so much high five you as like place his hand
Yeah.
against your hand and then wrap his hand around your hand.
This is really funny, Billy.
He claps.
He's just a bigger kid now, Jackson.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Okay. So I pop Vex out
'Kay.
once we're near the ledge,
Vex floats near your head.
and I immediately burn heal him.
Okay. It's almost like a cooling gel as it sprays over the body. It dissipates
Aloe vera.
over its form.
Yeah.
And you can see a full body shiver travel down Vex's body, quotation
Body.
mark.
Yeah.
And Vex looks visibly healthier than he did a moment ago. And he giggles.
Okay, Vex. So here's the thing. These stones, can I show Caleb? Caleb, can I show Vex the stone?
Yeah, and he opens up the little pocket on his backpack that he pocketed them in and pulls them out.
These ones are the ones we really, 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 really need, and we need a bit more of it. Was there more down there? Do like a flip if there was.
Does a flip.
Okay. Okay.
You would see visually there were a number of them.
Yeah.
They spilled over the top of it. They went down inside of it.
Now, if you get hurt again, I want you to get as much of those as you can and bring them back here. Only screeching at the other Pokemon down there if they seem like they're gonna hurt you. Okay? But if you're not hurt and you can do this a couple more times and you find anything cool like this down there, and you bring it back too.
Vex looks at it and goes,
Okay. Pocket it.
And I'm going to start having Billy do the same thing he was doing before, hold on action to attack the Weezing with a rock throw.
okay. Yeah, Billy is standing
if
there
things
sort
go
of
awry.
leaning over, looking at it, slips a little bit and leans backwards again and looks at you.
21 for Vex's stealth.
Woo! Vex, you said 26? No,
Oh, 21.
21. That makes more sense. Like a shadow, once again, Vex moves down the length of the wall, around another corner, and is waiting for an opening as the Pokemon circle around. Sucking in this noxious gas, and then you feel the rumbling. As the water sprays out. Vex needs to make a dex save.
15.
15, much better.
He's ready for it this time.
Knowing what to expect, he only takes half of this, so he takes, instead of 6, 3 points of fire type damage. And manages
much,
to
sorry?
avoid burning 3 points of fire type damage. I rolled a 6, so it's half because he saved, and he does not get burned.
'Kay.
Yeah, so he manages to cover himself behind the rock. It still dribbles down the face of the rock and onto him, hurting Vex a little bit, but he avoids the majority of it. And continues to sneak along the path, darting between another couple bursts of gas, disappears inside this little hole. It's almost the size of him in terms of how big he is and moving down inside. It's like a cork inside and disappears from view. A couple seconds go by and he pokes his head back out and starts traveling back. Can you give me another
Disadvantage
stealth
this
at
time?
disadvantage?
That one's cacked.
Cacked.
That's an 11 this time.
An 11. Let me just double check. Okay. As Vex tries to sneakily move outside. Doesn't time its departure near as well this time. Firstly, I need it to give me a con save. Did I do this last time? Yes. No?
I don't think you even had it make a con save last time.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. You're right.
Let's check. 8.
Okay. It's going to take 8 points of poison type damage.
Halved to 4.
Yeah. Just being in and around this noxious gas. Secondly, you hear a bit of a disruption as first, the larger of the Pokemon starts to chuff.
Does it seem
all
like
the
it
other
sees
ones seem to
Vex?
float and move and look in its direction as Vex looks back behind it and all the other Pokemon look at it as it travels up towards you.
To us or Vex?
Vex is traveling towards you.
Yeah.
All the other Pokemon are looking at Vex and following its trajectile up towards you.
Where is Vex at this point? Put him where he would be.
Vex probably made it this far. So he's 5 feet over the ground. And they're all looking upwards. Yeah. So, this is probably a good time to take a quick break.
Fine then.
And then we'll come back and roll initiative.
Okay.
I do have intermission music. Wherever it is. There it is. Oh.
I know, he's... You were worried about him being bad.
He's usually such a spaz. Watch, I'm gonna get up to get a drink, and he's gonna jump up and knock over the whole table. And
No. Well, can you get me some more lemonade?
Yeah.
He'll stay here with me? Okay, babe.
it's already freaking.
Oh, because he didn't realize we were going to start moving, and then he was like, movement. Stay here. Stay here, Bubba. No, stay here. Stay here, good boy. That's a good boy. Yeah. You just get in the way on other streams because there's an extra person here. There's more movement. There's less space. Where's Lily?
Well, she's not in the room.
Oh.
She's hanging out downstairs.
I heard her earlier.
Yeah, she buffs a lot.
Well, I think she was in the room. I heard her like... tick, 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 tick. Or
Really?
no, like before we started. I heard like her collar or her feet or something.
No, she doesn't have a collar in this carpet, so it must
Really?
be something else. Yeah.
You like
It
spoke...
might have been me with dice bags.
Oh, maybe. You spoke to her at the same time, and I was like, I hear her.
I heard her buffing outside, that's all.
Oh, maybe. Maybe it was that.
It was definitely Matt's collar. that You
The
heard.
door's not closed, so she could get in if she wanted to, but... doesn't
Salvador
want
is lying in your spot, and he is using the pillow as a pillow.
Hmm.
Like a people would. Salvi know
He's
how
doing
it
himself
works.
pretend.
So Matt, how do you feel about playing over Discord? Is it discordant?
Not as fun as in person, but it's still good.
Okay.
There was one part where you went super robotic for a couple of seconds, but that was it.
Oh, weird.
The
Was-
only glitch I've come across so far.
Was that Discord or like Twitch?
That was Discord.
Mm.
I haven't been listening to Twitch. I've had it up, but I haven't been listening.
Yeah, I find the hardest thing is just the not being in the same room and being able to play off of each other the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the one
Well,
thing
this
I
is also
haven't
just
been
a section
watching.
where I haven't had a lot to do in general, so
Fair enough.
I mean that's kind of part of the not playing off each other as much because there hasn't been much to play off of. And that's not a complaint. That's just an observation. That's all.
What was I gonna say? I haven't pulled up chat at all. Anybody notice anybody giving us the gears?
I haven't seen anything, but I also haven't
Nothing.
been monitoring
I've got
it.
it up.
Par for the course. All good.
I'm doing the other things. Like, I made a beautiful cue card of all the sound effects.
Oh, that's why they were all going off earlier.
Oh yeah, because I was
I
testing
was
them all.
wondering. Yeah, they're all labeled in the soundboard as well.
Yeah, I have it sticking out of the, like, shoved in between a couple keys.
Nice.
A reference for
So
me.
this way Steve won't forget.
Oh, I don't have the keyboard. Melissa's running
Oh, yeah.
everything. She is master and commander.
I just didn't know how to put your face in the other box in the battle map.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are more complicated things to do in Streamlabs than I have ever done in Streamlabs or a video recording thing because I haven't done it in a couple years. I don't know what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
And our setup has been ever evolving.
Yeah. Well, and I haven't like filmed a video and used anything like that for a while, right? Like I'd have to like
Yeah.
reteach myself how to do it. Because you guys have just been manning all that.
Yeah.
I was very embarrassed that Andy caught me singing to my dog because I didn't realize he could hear me.
Yeah.
I didn't
In,
realize.
Discord?
Yeah, I didn't realize anybody was listening other than Steven. And I was singing to Salvador. And then suddenly someone started talking. And I didn't realize it was Andy at first. And I was like, oh my god, who's listening?
Oh god.
I was
Yeah, that sounds
exposed.
about right. I'm wondering if there's a way to do voice calls or not voice calls, but video calls with more. I mean, you could probably do it with more people. You just have to actually set it up. I wonder if there's a way to set up a video channel. No. I have just discovered.
There is
Oh,
not.
but you can add people.
You can have multiple people in a video call?
Yeah.
How many could you have?
I don't know. I'm assuming that there's probably technically no limit, but
Technically.
Self-imposed limit might be a good idea.
yeah, exactly. And whatever your server can actually take.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, with everybody supposed to be on quarantine and self-isolation, that means nobody's making new plans on Saturdays unless they have work. And then maybe this coming Saturday, we could actually do the D&D that we didn't get to do.
Yeah, maybe, because I'm not gonna be going up to Edmonton this time around.
Yeah.
This weekend. That's been put on hiatus.
Well, and I wouldn't be doing, I was supposed to be going to like the Mum and Tot show or some other thing to talk about Summit Summer.
Was canceled.
Yeah, I was supposed to be going to some event because there was 2 events that Summit was going to on the same day, and they needed somebody who had worked at Summer to go and talk about Summit Summer that they felt would be a good representative.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to be going to one of them to go talk, but
So much for that.
yeah. I'm unemployed.
Yeah,
now.
it's a grand old time.
Yeah,
Now, for unemployment, do you have to mail in stuff, or can you just submit everything online?
it's all online and it's digital, but
Oh, okay.
I am a little like, I told Steven that I'm a little concerned because, so like every summer when I'm off for a month, I apply for EI, and it usually within like the same day of applying, it will register in like the My Service Canada or whatever account that you have a pending application.
Yeah.
So like 2 days later,
Oh.
after applying, it wasn't registering that I had a pending application. So I'm hoping that it's just because there's a lot of system backlog and not a lot of updates yet because there's so many people applying.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
So
give it.
it's- Oh, go ahead.
So I'm gonna give it to the end of the week, and if it still doesn't show that I have a pending, or if I don't receive anything in the mail, because they usually send you they send you like your thing is pending. Here's your code for whatever. If I don't get that by Friday, I'm gonna call.
Yeah.
Be like, hey.
So it's all done on Service Canada's website?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like super easy. It's just I'm really hoping that I don't have to use it for like a really long time.
Yeah.
Okay. How are we feeling?
Good.
Good to go.
Ready to have Vex dash back to me.
You're ready for a serious encounter?
I'm guessing that's what the name of the music is.
You gave me the soundboard. It was a bad choice.
Okay, roll me some initiative.
Yes! Yes!
This is definitely going to be a fight as the 4 Pokemon look up at Shuppet and then up towards you aggressively, having disturbed
holding an
their
action.
peace.
He
You
was
are,
holding
so
an action.
you'll take a surprise round. But I do need initiative. So, anybody over 20?
22.
Wow.
I got my
And I
Brook
got a-
rolls out of the way.
And I got a 15.
And you got a 15. Okay.
Yay.
So, that's actually pretty good.
I know I needed him to go first so he can
Thank
dash up to me.
God for advantage.
Do.
Oh, I think you gotta switch screens, Melissa.
Oh, I do. I am sorry, everyone. Thanks, Matt.
It's all good.
I got distracted.
All right, so surprise round, Jackson, because you were holding your action. Give me a attack. You're gonna throw it directly at that big bulbous,
Yep.
3-headed boy.
At that one whose name I don't know in character, but that is... Ooh, I haven't. This is the first attack I've done with Billy. His modifiers have changed.
That's right.
Nice.
So that's gonna be...
Woo, woo, woo!
He hops on one foot, rears back his one hand, and goes to throw.
And that's a 21.
21 hits.
Perfect. And that does... 2d6. Oh! So that's 2d6 plus 5, so that's 15 points of rock-type damage.
Solid. Visibly hitting the Pokemon, it almost looks like it's about to burst as its elastic outside kind of folds inwards and then the rock bounces outwards. It does seem to be visibly hurt and startled by this, and it looks up and goes almost like
Good
a
job,
bulldog, growling and looking up at you.
How much do potions do again?
The
2d4
potions you
plus
have are
2?
yeah.
How much?
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
Correct.
Yeah.
Brooke, top of the round. Shuppet is already making a beeline towards you. You see these Pokemon now looking like they are ready to pick a fight with it, defending their source of food, presumably.
Vex, screw Screech, dash to me. And he's just gonna whoosh up there.
Okay.
Am I able to collect the things from him, or do I have to wait?
It can just deposit it in your hands as
Okay.
it goes by.
He deposits it into my hands. Is it all just the greenstone?
It is.
And it's a big fistful?
So it's double the amount that it brought you
Yeah.
last time, so you've got a good fistful. Kalen looks over, he says, yeah, that's good. That's lots.
That's good, lots. He can probably get more.
I don't know. I mean, we're already in this. What do you want to do?
Jackson,
Do you want to catch one of these?
which one did you hit?
I hit the big one.
Are you doing anything else with your
Let's give it a round or two, and then I'm gonna just shift over, shove it into Caleb's pocket or hand it to him or whatever, and move back to my spot.
'Kay.
Because he's standing close enough to me.
Alrighty.
Because
So,
I can't do anything else. That's my action. Yeah.
this wheezing boy closest to you, small, it is in total about the size of a basketball, and it grows and shrinks in size as it inhales and exhales. Its body is perforated, and it seems to blow out fumes out of each one of these holes as it inflates and then deflates, coughing all the while. It is going to...
Not
just
gonna
check
lie, I
range.
do want to try and catch one because I need another hovering and or flying or ranged Pokemon if we're ever gonna take on this bird gym. And I got one Pokemon.
And I doubt that the flying types will have any. Oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for? Super
Resistances?
effective moves on like a wheezing.
Yeah.
Or a coughing.
Perfect. Yeah, it's not even gonna move. From where it is, it goes, and it coughs out this huge cloud of awful smoke. That is going to sort of drift. Make some colors. Let's pick this color. How's best to draw this?
You draw like a cloud and then just move the cloud whenever you need.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be about. Sorry, just trying to size this right. Doing a horrible job. About right there. So you guys are all caught at the edge of this big cloud of smoke.
So me, Megby, and
Correct.
Shepard.
So you guys, one, cannot see past it, so you can't see down into the area.
Okay.
Additionally, there's going to be more to that, but we'll get to that. And it stops its turn, moving backwards just a little bit. And it kind of floats there. Jackson.
Billy,
You-
throw another rock at it.
Okay.
And we're gonna use the big die. Oh, that's even better. That's a 26.
26 hits.
Oh, friggin' hope so.
Woo!
And
Woo, 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 woo!
not as good on the damage. That's 9 points of rock type damage.
9.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one. This one kind of bounces off its exterior as it flexes it off, ready for this time. Okay.
Is it damaging it just not as much as we'd hope?
No, it's doing as expected to it. This just seems to be a hardy Pokemon. This next one is going to move up,
No.
and it too is going to cough up this large vat of smoke upwards towards you. Blowing another one of these. Let's see here. Think I can figure it out this time? No, that's the wrong shape. Come on. Up here. And right there is where that one's gonna land.
Oh, right there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
So, catching you guys in this. At this point, you cannot see downwards over top of the ledge. And you are sputtering on these toxic fumes. You do not see this, but you hear more coughing as the next one moves. best way to do this? Let's do... Okay. This next one starts to move, and it moves upwards. And then the big one starts moving, body puffing inside and out. Going to move. Gonna stay. Oops.
Beautiful.
Right?
Jaden. So good at this. Lovely.
We have done this so often, and we still.
Right?
Such
Gonna
a
move
struggle.
15 feet that way and 15 feet upwards. Moving up.
So it's like
towards
15
you.
feet down from us, but we can't see it.
Correct.
Okay.
Callum, start of his turn, is going to make a... No, I think he's just going to take damage.
Just gonna take damage? Is
Yeah,
there-
he immediately is coughing and sputtering, and he takes a step backwards. Oh God! Oh, that's awful! Oh! And he's actually going to move backwards out of the smoke. He does look like he's hurting a little bit. And he's going to say, Magby!
On a
Magby,
scale
step
of 1
back!
to 10, how bad does he look?
I can't really move them anywhere, but just assume that they're 5 feet backwards, just outside of the smoke.
'Kay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, a 6?
Okay.
10 being the best? Yeah. 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, him and Magby both move backwards. Magby likewise is taking some damage. Wrong dice. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Top of the round, Brooke. You cannot see anything. You and Shuppet are immediately going to take damage
No save, nothing, eh?
as you sputter in this. You begin your turn in it, so you're going to take 6 points each of poison type damage.
Okay. But 24. And it puts Vex.
And you do need to make a con save.
Me and
Both you and your Pokemon.
that is a 11 for Brooke.
Okay.
And a 10 for Shuppet.
Okay. Shuppet is poisoned. You manage to hold your breath and move out of it enough so that it doesn't really filter down into your lungs. Shuppet, however, cannot. Its tiny little lungs inflate with this poisonous fumes, and it looks hurt.
Okay.
So, poison Pokemon has disadvantage on all ability checks and attack rolls, and it's going to take an amount of damage equal to its proficiency bonus at the end of each of its turns.
I step back out of the smog and I say, "It's not worth it. I got one Pokeball anyway. I'll try and catch something on the next route. Let's just get out. Shuppet's too hurt." And I'm gonna retract Shuppet and back out.
Okay. So both of you back out of the smoke. Okay.
I retract Shuppet into the Pokeball and I back up.
Okay. Top of the round. This cloud is going to dissipate.
But I am gonna take out, once I'm out, I'm gonna take out Liam just in case they pursue us.
Okay. So you swap Pokemon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that cloud dissipates as you guys move outwards. You see that Pokemon start to slowly rise. Jackson and Calum. Calum moved backwards, so he would as well. Jackson, you do not, as you're currently still encased in this.
Yeah.
It is going to start to ascend. About 25. Oh, 20 feet. It can only move 20 feet. Okay. Seeing those people running away, it is likewise going to shoot another cloud of smog. I can't quite hit. So it's not going to do anything. It just sputters and starts moving up in place. It'll actually dash higher, so it's about 40 feet up.
So he's actually higher than us, just further away.
Jackson, it's your turn. Start of your turn, you and Bonsly are going to take some damage.
Yep.
So you both take 5 points of poison type damage. And I need both of you to give me a constitution save.
Sure. You said 5?
Yeah.
Alright. Purple will be me, pink will be Billy. So that's a... Oh. That's a not good for me. That's a 6 for me.
Okay.
But a 28 for Billy.
So Billy is totally fine. You, however,
He's
are
rock solid, man.
considered poisoned.
Yay!
Yeah. So
Yeah, proficiency and loyalty in those saves. So it's a plus friggin' 9.
so yes, your old man lungs, used to fresh greenhouse fumes, are not used to these fumes. And you are feeling quite ill very quickly. But it is your turn.
We're just gonna run.
Sorry, Steven, I have a question. Would he have been poisoned? Would Shepard have been poisoned if I had remembered to add my loyalty proficiency of +1 to my saving throw?
So
He got a 10.
instead of a 9?
He would have gotten an 11.
instead of 10.
No, he wouldn't have.
Okay, so is he not poisoned?
He is not poisoned. Then.
Okay. I forgot about the proficiencies.
Rewind. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could turn back time,
Right?
Shepard would pass his save.
Okay. Jackson and Billy, you guys are moving out of that space.
Yep.
And you're moving away. Okay. What is your guys' intention here? Are you guys planning to flee this battle, or are you...
We're ditching it, I think.
Yeah, slowly backing up. If they pursue above the cliffside, I'm gonna fight them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys back off.
Because I'm not just gonna
tentatively.
let them chase us to where we're gonna be in a point where
We're in a
bad
position.
place. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
back up 30 feet.
Yeah, you guys back up 30 feet away from the edge of the ledge, and as this cloud of smog dissipates, you hear another rumble. As the geyser spurts again. And then you see, one by one, each one of these inflatable, balloon-like Pokemon float upwards past your field of vision, and they continue to move upwards, away. They don't seem to be interested in following you.
Just moving
Pursuing
out
us?
of the chasm.
Yes.
Okay.
At this point in time, you have disturbed them, and it seems like they are ready to leave and find a safer space.
Just getting out of dodge.
Okay.
Yeah.
This place isn't safe anymore.
You got the impression that you probably disturbed their meal or their hidey hole, right? As you came in here and attacked them, essentially.
Mhm.
You did them some damage. They put up a big show, and then they floated away while there was essentially a smoke screen behind them.
Right.
And they floated up and away.
Is that gonna be good, Caleb? Because I mean, now that they're gone.
Caleb says, yeah, that's plenty. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, are they coming back?
I mean, I don't think so, but now that they're gone, I mean, Shepard could probably go down and get more without any really serious concern.
No, don't worry. Don't
Okay.
don't
Okay.
risk it. Is Jackson, are you all right? You look not so well.
I don't feel so good.
Who looks the worst for wear? I mean, I can make an
Jackson.
assumption. Jackson looks really bad?
Well, Jackson looks sickly. How do you look, Jackson?
On a scale of 1 to 19, I'm at a 12.
Is he
Especially
poisoned?
because I have to take. Yeah, I'm poisoned. I have to take that damage every 6 seconds.
Oh. How do we fix this?
He says, do you have any antidotes? Any berries?
Jackson, you had some berries that you gave him. Oh, well, no.
None that help with poison.
Okay. Where's the closest place that would have these?
It's like,
How far
Pokemon
travel?
Center
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a Pokemon?
Yeah, how far?
A day's back? Like, we get out of here right now, and really book it back to Haventown. I mean, of course your friend can be. Don't know if you'll make it though. But I suppose we have to try, right?
Jackson, how many potions do you have right now?
I have 10.
You have 10? Okay, well, that's good news.
But keep in mind, it ticks every 6 seconds.
Yeah.
This
take
is
another...
Brooke being
I've been counting it, he's already
optimistic.
down to 8.
Sorry?
I said I've been counting it. He's already down to 8.
Okay.
I pump 4 points into you, and it's time to hustle.
Okay. You guys move hurriedly down the path. Jackson, you're very quickly finding that you're not going to be able to move for any real length of time like this. And as you make it, almost back to where you saw that chasm that you struggled to traverse before, Jackson, you are basically on your knees and struggling hard.
Have I experienced anybody having been poisoned by a Pokemon before?
Give me
Not a Pokemon,
yeah.
a person.
Give me a medicine check.
That's a nat 20.
It's a natural
So
20.
23.
You've seen it lots in Pokemon. You know that in Pokemon, typically that the poison works in such a way, regardless of the species, it's just how the poison naturally affects Pokemon, that when they go down, it seems to dissipate. Their body goes into full reset mode. Everything inside them shuts down whatever is happening, whether it's a burn, whether it's a poison, and they typically, unless extenuating circumstances apply, remain stable in that sort of position. It's typically referred to as fainting, as opposed to dying, though Pokemon do die.
So
In people,
if I
you're not
Sure what would
entirely
happen.
certain because it's not your area of expertise, but you anticipate him getting very hurt very quickly as the poison goes through his body, and hopefully it dissipates. But at this point in time, Jackson, you're anticipating going down any second now.
Yeah.
and there's nothing. Like nothing in this area that could in any way, shape, or form be used for medicinal purposes.
Give me a survival check.
I'll help.
Who has the better survival?
Jackson,
Probably
roll a
me.
survival as well.
I have a +3.
Oh, I do too, so it's the same.
Okay.
But that's a... Oop, that was on that.
You do have
That's-
disadvantage because you're poisoned.
Oh, right. I'll roll the second one. All right, well, that the second one was a 19. The first one is a 14.
Mine was an 8.
Oh, sorry, it's a 15. Right,
15?
so my proficiency bonus is +3 now.
There are naturally occurring things that may help one with such a ailment. Jackson, you would be quite familiar with pecha berries. A common Poke Trainer berry to find and carry and cultivate for just such an occasion. However, in such a location as where you are right now, you're pretty bare bones. There's roots sticking out at the edge of the wall. There's some odd mosses. But as you really take stock of what's around you, the last of the poison kicks in, and Jackson falls to unconscious.
Is he breathing?
He is currently breathing.
Okay.
Give me a... I don't know. What do you intend to do? Callum is...
I want to, like, stabilize
oh my
him.
god, my god. Okay, then give me a straight medicine check.
18.
18. Jackson, you feel very unwell very quickly, and as you're looking around, you quite literally sink to your knees, slink against the side of a wall. Billy runs up to you.
Oh.
Gets down on one knee and looks at you as you start to fall down. And you keel over. You think maybe you're having a heart attack, but it's not. It's nausea. It's pain. It's all these different things. As the poison moves through your veins, you can see discoloration beneath his skin, and he passes out. You run over to him, Billy, frantic, looking over him. And you lay him on his side, and you lay him out in a recovery sort of position. You throw your jacket over him, keeping him warm in this damp sort of location. Callum is just looking and walking back and forth. He's like, my god. Okay. Is there anything I can do? Anything at all?
Do you know anything about poison in humans?
I don't. Jackson, due to Brooke's care, you are stabilized. And due to the nature...
1 hit point.
Correct. You're still unconscious. Due to the nature of the poison, the toxins do eventually air out of your body, essentially. It's...
Sweet.
Yeah, the nature of the smog, it's almost like it oxidizes and eventually just removes itself. But you are going to be unconscious for a yet undetermined period of time.
1d4?
I just rolled it.
Do you want me to? Oh, okay.
I got it. Brooke, looking over him, based on the roll you just made, you feel confident that he's not dying anymore. You could not say...
I was about to play some White Snake.
You could not say whether or not he's going to get up anytime soon, but you have, through your quick action, stabilized him.
Okay, Caleb, right now what needs to happen is you need to stay calm. Megby is a great source of heat.
Yeah.
So-
Maybe stand closer to him.
If you
warm him up.
stay here with him, I'm not going anywhere far. How far are we from the ledge?
Maybe 10 feet. You're not too
Okay.
far. You got almost there before you stopped and started looking for a solution.
Like the Tarzan ledge. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
I'm just gonna try and see if there's any other feasible way that we can get across, and we're just gonna give it a few hours and hope that Jackson is gonna be all right.
Well,
He's not dying, if that makes you feel any
Yeah.
better.
that's good. That's good. I feel like this is the second time you saved somebody here today.
It's kind of turning into a trend.
This is dangerous stuff. Anything at all. I'm listening.
Right now, I just want you to watch over him. I'm gonna see if there's any safer way to get us across. here when he gets up. Because he's gonna get up.
Yep.
He's gonna get up. And then Brooke walks over to the other edge with Ryulu.
Ryolu steps over and looks up at you.
We all need to figure out a safer way to get everybody across, Liam.
Nods.
That's easier said than done. And I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna think on it while I wait for Jackson to wake up.
Okay.
Because I legitimately want to think about it.
Okay. You guys sit and you think long and hard. It hasn't been too long since when you woke up in the morning. Only a couple hours, really. Between trekking along, trying to traverse that chasm, as tedious as it wasn't a long, long endeavor to do. Going on maybe 11 noonish. Above you, you can still hear the gentle patter of rain and blowing wind.
How long since Jackson was fallen out?
You sit there, kind of taking stock of everything for about an hour. And Jackson slowly rouses.
Are you okay?
I think so. I don't feel as bad anymore.
I run over and I give him a hug and I pump the last 4 of my points that I have into him. And I look up at, I'm assuming he's taller than me, but that might be not true. I look at you and I say, you can't go dying on me, old man, okay?
I'm at that age where I can't really make any promises, but I'll do my damnedest.
It's not funny. But I appreciate your sense of humor.
Billy walks up behind you and gives you a big hug and lifts you off your feet. And he puts you back down. And he almost like inspects your body, like running his hands up and down the length.
I'm okay, Billy. I'm okay. Thank you for worrying, though.
And you can see him sort of cry a little bit. Tears that he hasn't shed since he was a bonsly.
Okay. So the only plan I / could think of, so Brooke could think of to make this a little bit safer, is to create a pull system, I guess, of if I can make a second rope to tie to the first rope and pull it across at the base while someone holds onto it. So that they're not swinging, they're just hold and or tied to the rope and pulled across.
Okay.
So
I
the
think I see what you're saying.
only thing I could think of for her to do. So during that hour, somewhere during that hour, she started to cut her sleeping bag apart because it's the only thing she could do to get a second rope. How much rope did I get in making however long I had?
Jackson did a similar thing. Give me a survival check real quick, just based on how you're kind of cutting it open. And
Liam helped me the whole time.
Sure.
11.
11. Seeing what Jackson had done before, as you were kind of getting pulled through the water when you had drifted down the stream, you fasten a similar type bound ropey sort of construction. It's about 30 feet.
How far does the rope sit from the base of the water when it swings?
About 5-10 feet off. 35 to either direction.
Now, because I'm not good at math, in my head math,
Mhm.
if I were to fasten it to Brooke
Mhm.
and fasten it to the bottom of the rope,
Mhm.
how much rope is there enough that she could climb and pull a rope up and climb and pull a rope up?
You're 5 feet short.
5 feet. Well, Jackson,
Can we go back to that diagram that we had before of the...
Yep.
Okay. So it's 70 feet across. We already have one 50-foot chunk of rope.
I explained to Jackson what my plan was, hoping that I could just pull it. So basically, Brooke's hope intention was to have a rope long enough that she could attach it while one people stand on the other end, and she could be on the other end. So she's hoping for 70 feet, so she could just, like, aid in the pull along.
Okay, so
But if she didn't have more, she would attempt to tie it to herself and climb up the wall.
the
But
rope
she
is
would still
currently
need
hanging
more.
10 feet above where you're standing or where the platform is, okay? Which puts it 60 feet over the water. The rope is 50 foot, so it hangs about 10 foot over the water. It can reach either side on its own. I was being goofy. Yeah, with that 30 feet, you could reach if it was pulled to some degree.
What do you mean if it was pulled to some degree?
Well, you couldn't reach.
Yeah, but if I
from the
pulled
top down to
it
the
along,
bottom.
But
with
it would be hard.
Yeah, you would be dragging their entire weight up the
Yeah.
other side.
Yep.
At that
if we
point, you
have
might
a-
as well carry them up the other side.
If we have another 30 feet of rope, and it's only 70 feet across, why don't we just put some, well, if we go and we get the rope that's already there, and we just make, like, one person gets to the other side with the rope, and then gets the other bit of the rope that you just made, and then ties those two together to make one long rope, because
Yep.
that'll go across the entire...
Yep, because
length
then
of
we
it.
would have more than
And then
70
you
feet.
just, and then you just secure it to either side, 5 feet into either side as much as
And
you
then
can, and then people
slothy
can just
climb.
monkey crawl across.
That's a much better plan, Jackson. Okay. I'm gonna pop out Sassy.
Okay, Sassy appears before you.
Okay, Sassy, I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be dangerous.
Meowth looks up at you, kind of squints its eyes.
But
You'll be a friggin' legend if you do it.
I'm gonna catch you if you fall, or do my best to try. I'll be ready for it this time. Okay?
And it looks at you, just waiting.
I'm gonna swim down. I'm gonna throw your Pokeball up to that branch. You're gonna grab it. You're gonna untie the rope. And get it down to me. Because then if you fall, I'm down here to catch you. Got it? Okay.
Nods, looks over the edge.
I'm gonna say that Brooke didn't get a short rest, right?
No.
Okay.
Well, you sat there for an hour, so you would have.
part of it I was crafting stuff, part of it I wasn't. Oh.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna carefully climb down.
So give me a athletics check with disadvantage.
I'm gonna pop her back in her Pokeball before I do, though.
Okay. Yeah, I assumed. And Jackson waits up top.
Yep.
It's a 19, but the other was a Kraken. The 19.
19. That's still great.
I know.
Yeah. You take your
But my
time,
natural 20 was fucking wasted.
basically controlledly sliding down this incline, and you hit the water.
Okay. I'm gonna swim out to the point in the middle where that tree is and throw the Pokeball up.
Okay.
Sassy's gotta catch on.
Yeah. Without any issue, Sassy lands up top there. She is adept at this sort of maneuver. This is something that she is good at.
Now, untie it.
She holds out one paw.
And she
That's
cuts it. How much of the rope did we actually lose?
Just like an inch off the top where it was tied. Yeah, give me, mark off 1 PP for scratch. And she stands up there and just looks down at you.
Good job.
She's the one who didn't get the concept of time.
Yeah, so clearly can't grasp the concept of untying. And then I'm gonna grab that rope and attempt to climb up the side where everybody is.
Up the side where everybody is.
Yeah, because we gotta tie it.
'Kay.
And I don't trust Brooks tying it.
Okay.
And
give me
she's
an
in the water.
athletics check with disadvantage to climb.
That's an 11.
You're only climbing, so it's a success. It just takes you a long time to do so. You'd spend like half an hour making a little bit of purchase, sliding back down, making a little bit more purchase, sliding back down. Eventually, you do come to the top. More mud than person.
Okay.
Meowth is looking at you from.
No, I said
on
I
top
called her
left.
back.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Okay. We gotta tie this. Anybody know any good knots that are gonna hold under pressure?
Yeah, I think the slip knot we did before did pretty well.
That's true.
Hold on, hang on.
You did that, didn't you?
I think so. I think Liam did it, and I just kind of showed him how.
Okay. You wanna help him out again then?
Based on
Sure.
your last roll that you made, easy enough. You
Okay.
tie this together.
Basically, Liam's got knots down.
He's
This
got
is like
knots.
he's proficient in knots now.
Yeah, you basically hand him a rope, and he's like.
I'm just putting that around the biggest rock that we can find on this side.
It's not
Yeah.
clean by any means, but he's got it.
Which side of things seems to have the biggest, strongest rocks? Because Jackson just said we're gonna tie it to the strongest rock we can find.
So,
That's not Billy.
Yeah.
in terms of big jutting rocks, those sort of things,
Tree, anything.
there are trees that sort of hang from up here. If you were to lean up and tie it to one of the trees overhead, that would be doable.
Is
That would
one
be more
reachable?
doable, yeah.
Okay.
So above where you are
Okay.
on either side, there's one maybe 5 feet up and 5 feet out. So sort of hanging out across, you can tie one up there.
Okay. Liam's gonna tie it.
You kind of hold Liam up, and he
Yep.
ties it around the top.
He's our nut bro.
You feel pretty confident that it's tied successfully.
Okay.
It's funny how D&D always descends into how are we going to cross this chasm?
Yep.
How are we going to cross this river?
Yeah. Brooke puts Liam in his Pokeball and is going to go to the other side. So you want me to make 2 athletics? Climb down, climb up?
Well, you have the rope, so I'm assuming you're just going to rappel down the rope.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So don't worry about that one, but you're going to swim across
Yep.
with this rope, and then you're going to climb up the other side. I do need you to give me a athletics check with disadvantage to get up there. Cacked.
That's
Khakis.
10.
10? It's wearing on you.
Yeah.
You have gone up and down, saved 2 lives, swam,
It's a hard
fought off
day.
smog, and it's maybe lunchtime. As you come up the other side, you take a point of exhaustion, but
Yeah.
you do make it up.
Okay. I don't know where I want to write that. Let's write it here. One. I don't think it's a good idea if I hold on to it. Liam, you tie it to that one? Hold him.
Okay.
Tie it to another thing.
You hold it up, and as you do so, you feel a strong hand grab just above yours. And you turn to look behind you, and you see the mother Exploud standing there.
Mama Explode! Oh!
Big mouth kind of flaps as she's holding this rope and looking around and looking across at what's going on across this cavern.
Oh, will you hold it, please? Oh, I love you. I'm gonna hug her.
Okay. Kind of wrap your arms around her. She flinches, like she moves back a little bit, and then when she realizes that you're not trying to hurt her, she just kind of stands there not knowing entirely what to do.
You hold on to it really hard. And then I hold on to it.
Okay. Give me an animal handling roll check. Quick.
Okay. This scared me. I was like, oh, fuck, who's in here with us? That's bad. That's a 8. Woo!
It's only an 8. Yeah, she holds it. And she kind of pulls a little bit until it's taut, and she doesn't entirely understand what she's doing it, but she's currently holding it.
Just hold on to it.
You look down, and there's a small pink shape by her foot. Going,
Get away from her.
looking up. Behind them, you can see a small procession of these bonsai.
Oh, they're like a family, Jackson. They're like a family.
I know, it's freaking adorable.
I love it.
The bigger, chunkier one comes waddling down.
Oh, I think she's gonna be happy here. She's got a whole bunch of babies to take care of now.
The Exploud looks around her like.
Does she seem bothered by them?
More like, I'm not entirely certain what to do with these things.
They're her new babies. I have a weird sort of question for you guys on the other side.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you think it would be easier if the last person untied the rope and we just, like, pulled them across? Then we don't lose our rope. And also, I don't have to dive in tired
Yeah,
if
sure, we
something
can do that.
happens, if someone falls.
I can be the last one over.
Okay. Caleb, please don't fall.
I don't want to fall.
Okay, hold on really tight.
Okay. Second time's a charm?
Yeah. You got a belt?
Yeah. Yeah, suspenders, actually.
Tie it around the rope
Tie
to
it-
support yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Extra
Sure.
aid never helped, right? I mean, always. I don't ask me anymore.
I'm sorry, am I going
Oh.
first? Am I going first, Jackson?
You sure are.
Yeah. I'll let her drag me up.
Oh. Okay. All right. Here I go.
And he sort of unhooks his suspenders, and his pants start to fall down. He's like, oh, fixes them back up a little bit. And he calls back Megby into his Pokeball, and he
I was about to scream. I almost had to give you CPR. We're family now.
he hooks it over, and he starts going. All he's got to do is hold on. You, on the other side, however, are holding on with help. So can you give me a strength check with advantage.
I'm exhausted though, so wouldn't it be straight?
Straight.
16.
When you're exhausted, you take a point of exhaustion.
Yeah, climbing
From
up the other
climbing.
side.
Oh right, yeah. I
Okay.
missed that.
From climbing and swimming.
As
From doing all those things that would physically exhaust you.
he
Yep.
basically attempts to zip line and then shimmy across this. You're tired. You're quickly finding yourself losing your handing on this. And you find quickly enough that you're barely holding on,
With a 16?
but the rope isn't going down any further. You look behind you, and the mother Exploud is still holding on, unsure of what she's doing, really. But it's that much extra that it's putting you over.
Good job,
Um,
Mama.
And Calum sort of slowly hunkers over the edge and climbs up and fixes his pants again
Mama
with his suspenders.
Exploud is like, I love her.
She holds the rope and kind of shakes it a little bit and looks at you.
Yeah, this time we're gonna pull Jackson in. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna pull him this time.
Give me another animal handling.
This is an 8 again.
She doesn't get it. She's just like,
I'm still holding it though. Jackson, do you want to tie it to yourself for good measure?
Sure. Can I reach the rope?
Can you reach the rope? Yeah. You lean over,
Oh,
hop,
I was afraid I'd
almost
have to pick up
precariously. Billy holds on to your backside as you do so. To stop you from falling, you untie it and you hold on to it.
I'm gonna tie it around my belt.
Okay.
And then hold on to it.
Okay. Now what are you doing?
So how much rope does Brooke have right now
10
on
feet.
her side? 10 feet?
About.
She's not confident in how things are going.
I'm gonna start climbing down.
And if this ship
Okay.
is gonna sink, she's sinking with it.
Jackson, give me an athletics check with disadvantage to climb down this mucky wall.
I'm gonna have
You haven't done
Ryolu
this
tie
yet.
it to me.
Well, there's a nat 20
Okay.
or a 3, which modified becomes a 0.
Oh no.
Did I get time to tie it to myself? Because I would have been doing that when he was doing that.
Yeah.
But I mean, before he was climbing. Like when he was untying it, I would have been tying it to myself.
I mean, that's fine. He falls down the edge.
But is it tied to me is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
is
and I would've
Mama
told Billy
Exploud
before starting
holding
to go
on
down.
to it regardless? Is anybody holding on to this with me? Other than Liam, because Liam would help me.
Yeah, Calum was, and the mother Exploud appears to be holding on to
Okay.
it.
And it is tied to me. As if this ship be sinking, she's going down with it.
So that's 19 points of falling damage as you fall down the edge of this cliff, hitting a few things on the way down and then slapping hard onto the water.
I'm pulling!
Okay, and you pull furiously to pull him across. Jackson, how are you looking right now?
Unconscious?
Oh, unconscious, yeah.
Okay, you hit the water hard, fall
If you dealt
unconscious.
5 damage more than that, I'd be dead.
Oh. And you guys start furiously pulling him. Give me another strength check with advantage, but straight because cacked.
23. Please tell him.
Wow.
Please tell me I get him up fast enough to stabilize him.
Yeah, you
CPR him if I must.
you haul him across the water. He barely breaks the surface.
Skipping.
Yeah, and you start dragging him up the other side, which doesn't have a ton of resistance beyond just his dead weight because it slides slickly up the mud. Every one of you is now wet, muddy, and miserable. And you pull him over the side. In that time, Jackson, I do need one death save.
Sure. It's a nat 1.
Wow.
So that's 2 failed.
Okay. Between everything, he's looking rough. He
I,
looks
like,
beat up. There's bones out of place.
Grab a potion, and I'm like, Callum, give him a potion, and I start to do CPR because I know there's water probably in his lungs.
Okay. This music is super cheery for the
Yeah.
fact that you're like
Someone is gonna die?
giving him CPR, bringing this old man back to life again. Callum takes the squirt bottle potion and he shakes it up and he starts applying it over the obvious wounds. Jackson, you are gonna heal 7 points of damage, and you do come to in much pain.
Oh yeah, if Brooke was doing CPR right, she broke your ribs.
I mean, if she was doing it as aggressively as she needed to, and he has brittle bones.
I would almost argue that Brooke wouldn't do CPR given the fact that he would be breathing. So there's no reason.
Did he inhale water?
Did he inhale water?
I mean, if
not
he's
sure. You
breathing,
didn't
he
stop
would
to
be
take a
sputtering if he
medicine
did.
check. He
No,
just
like that was
immediately-
my intention. Is that like she's like only doing CPR? I assumed you were gonna make me make a medicine check.
No, based on
Okay.
based on everything that happened, you started preparing yourself for the worst. You popped a potion to Calum.
Yeah.
He applied it, which through the strength of the medicine managed to resolve the immediate problems within Jackson and bring him back to consciousness. As he lies there again in quite a state.
I said you weren't allowed to die on me, old man.
And if I recall, I had a quirky yet topical remark for it that I'm now regretting.
I'm so done with this cave, but Mama Exploud seems happy, so that's one win.
Just kind of
Yeah.
looking over all of you, just taking in your wet, sopping, muddy forms.
We get to keep walking, or should we take a rest?
We got everything we needed, right?
We did.
Calum
Then we
says,
can probably just
absolutely.
leave.
Would we like to rest?
We can if you want to.
Only if
I
you
don't think-
need to.
I don't think there's anything else dangerous on the way out, as far as I recall.
And we got Mama Exploud. Right?
Yeah.
I'll look up at her.
She just looks down at you and then down at the many bonsai that are now kind of swarming around your feet.
I am keeping my bedroll rope.
Okay.
And then
Bedroll roll.
my bedroll rope. And then I'm giving the rope back to Caleb.
Okay. He takes it and he bundles it up and he says, well, this turned into far more deadly circumstance than I would have anticipated.
Yeah, you know, if your dad ever sends you back here, make sure he sends you with climbing gear and everything you'd possibly need.
You know what?
And
I'm
like
swearing
a crew
off.
of 5.
I'm swearing off abandoned strip mines. This is no place for children.
Also true.
Um,
Also very true.
all joking aside, I'm sure there's a reason why there was a fence around this place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should have been a sign. There
Yeah,
also should have been a sign.
there were many keep out, no trespassing, danger,
signs. We immediately, broke in. But that's neither here nor there. How are you, old man?
I'm feeling just peachy.
Are you?
Ow.
Are you
Ow.
though?
Ow. Ow. As he starts walking towards the Exploud to give her a hug.
You guys walk forward a little bit. The Mother Exploud kind of
Begrudgingly hugs.
not begrudgingly, more instinctively supports Jackson's weight as he moves forward, and she kind of helps assist him towards the entrance of
She's
the cave.
so pure. I love her.
Thank you for helping,
Baby.
Exploud. This place suits you well.
We begin walking back.
You guys leave the cave, and it is still raining, not as aggressively as it was. You noted traveling through this fissure that it had dried up a little bit. You note that the water in the bottom of this strip mine has taken up a little bit more of it, like the bottommost section getting a little
risen
bit
a
more
bit.
flooded than it was before, coming up to the edge of where the first sort of Inukshooks start. You can see a few that have been trampled and kicked over, but there's more or less a path that you can see the Mother Exploud has been moving through. And some of the
Navigating
Bonslai have started reconstructing the Inukshooks around that, giving her room to move.
Aww.
You're not sure if it's out of concern or out of they don't want her to
No,
keep
they're a
knocking it over
family.
again.
Do not ruin my perception of what is going on here.
Calum hoists his bag and looks down at his Magby and looks back at the rest of you and he says, "All right, I feel like this is thank you and goodbye, perhaps."
Hell no. We are going back to town and we're seeing these fireworks.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, so you're the Exploud is you're happy with this? This is good? This worked out for you?
I hope she's happy. Jackson, I know you can't talk to her, but like, maybe you could talk to her and get a
Yeah,
good idea
sure.
about how she feels.
Yeah, I'll go up to the Exploud and so does this place seem good to you?
She looks you over and kind of looks around and her eyes dart about and then land on the little Whimsmer about 40 feet out, dancing amongst the Inukshooks. One of them falls over and it stops and starts trying to tidy it up and almost reconstruct it, doing horribly. It doesn't have sort of the same knack for stacking stones as the Bonslai do.
Because the bonsai are so good at it with no hands.
They
Yeah.
have a thing.
They just
They have a system.
They have a system. They have a means to do it.
She looks back at you. You don't gain the sense that she understands wholly what you're saying. But she doesn't seem bothered either. Like, looking around, she doesn't look stressed. She doesn't look like she's looking for danger like some of the other times that you'd seen her, walking through the fields, always keeping an eye open. She seems at ease, in a sense. It's hard to gather
Perfect.
much more than that.
Well, she seems happy. There's just one thing I want to do, two things I want to do, sorry, before we go.
I'm listening.
The first one, I'm going to slowly approach the Whismer.
The Whismer is still busy trying to reconstruct this little Inukshuk. It doesn't see you coming.
And I'm just gonna kind of crouch down beside it and pull out a ration.
It looks up at you and stutters a little bit, stops and
Okay,
looks at
I
you.
just have a little food for you. Just wanted to give you this before we go.
reaches out tentatively and starts sucking on it and holds it close to itself as it starts slowly starting to eat this.
It's the first time it's taken food from us. And the last thing, I'm gonna pop out Billy.
Okay. Billy appears before you. He looks around, noting the various bonsai about, just going about doing their thing, and then he looks back at you.
Do you know how to make one of these, Billy? And I point towards one of the Inukshuks.
He looks down curiously.
Let's find the biggest rocks that you can carry, and let's make one before we go.
He looks up at you and he goes, whoa, 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 and he nods.
I start helping them look.
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking for big rocks that don't seem like they would be out of Billy's capability to hold.
Okay. Billy's pretty strong, I take it.
Oh yeah, he's got an 18.
Yeah.
He is a beefcake now.
Okay. Give me just a strength roll for Billy.
Strength roll for Billy.
Yeah, because I imagine
That-
you as Jackson probably aren't going to be able to help him too much beyond pointing out rocks.
So,
Brooke's helping.
Just
Look
a
for them.
straight strength is a 21.
Wow.
I'm just pointing out the rocks and being like, that one looks like it could go in like this part of the leg. That one looks like it could be this part of
Brooke
the leg.
would totally help Bonsai carry if he needed.
Okay. You guys managed to find a number of stones that you figure would suit your vision. And you move it to a clearer spot. Next to the water's edge would be an area that would be easier to construct this. Or were you hoping to construct it somewhere else? Anywhere specifically?
No, just in a clearing where it probably won't get knocked over.
Okay. Between all of you, Billy doing the grunt work, picking them up and moving them where you want to, and you kind of push and leverage them, catching them before they topple. Billy himself being clumsy nearly knocks it over by falling on top of it a few times. You build what would be a sturdy, very heavy approximation of what many of these other smaller Inukshuks would be. And as you finish completing the topmost stone on it, and Billy turns around, all the other little bonsai are in awe as they all stare at Billy and then up at this larger Inukshuk shape. Billy looks down at them and goes, whoa, 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 and kind of waves towards it. And each one of them sort of moves up to it and starts inspecting the lowermost stones and doing almost circles around it, looking at it and checking out every crease and crevice and piece of it. And they keep moving almost in a circular rotation around it.
Just made them a god.
Oh God, that god's name is Billy. Just think about it. It's going to be crazy. One day they might be big enough to make those too.
They might be.
Elm says that's a frightening thought.
What?
I mean, it could be beautiful, but can you imagine like walking through the forest and coming across one of those? Just in the middle of... No? Is it just me?
I mean, we came
Now that
down
I know
here
what it
and we
is.
thought it was creepy until we realized it was cute.
Okay, maybe I'm just having a bad day. That scares the bejesus out of me.
It might be something that we can tell Professor Lop
Yeah.
about. And she
I
can let
mean,
other trainers know
She
and other
did
people
say
know
she
that
wants
they
to
see
hear
that.
from us, but I also think we kind of drive her crazy.
Yeah, I think mostly the latter.
But this is something I think she should know. This is cool. Do our Pokedexes have like a means to take video?
No,
Can we take a selfie?
I have ruled in the past that they do have means to take pictures. Absolutely.
Okay.
They don't have video capabilities. Their camera capabilities are limited, but it's got a big enough hard drive that it can hold as many as you'd want to.
Take a couple
Perfect.
pictures.
I am totally taking a selfie with Billy and the Inukshuk doing the whole stereotypical.
Aw. Yeah, and Bond's life follows up with that too. Holding up his
His
fingered
three
sort of
hands.
hand like in front of his face, not knowing what's going on.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm just gonna take a couple pictures of the vegan Nookshuk thing. The bonsai is like dancing around it, sort of thing. Some of the little ones that they made, and I want to get a picture of them on my Exploud. Hopefully, in some way, interacting with the bonsai or the bonsai interacting with her.
Not too hard. They seem to play off each other a lot.
Because
The
it's an
mother
interesting dynamic that.
Yeah,
would-
the mother
Yeah.
Exploud looking around. These are Pokemon that she is in no way threatened by, and they go about their business. She almost steps on them a few times, just given her size and their lack of care at
Mhm.
points in time. The Whimsmer, more than anything, though, interacts with them almost playfully.
Oh, I'm totally taking pictures of that.
Yeah, that's kind of. Last question. Is our Pokedexes like some Pokedexes in the past where it can like make video calls?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, so you're not able to make phone calls with
so
these.
sad.
They do have pictures. There's a basic library and compendium. It's
We can always go
largely
back
a
and get to the
research tool.
pictures too.
Um,
Or does it automatically upload when we find stuff or take pictures?
not the pictures. The pictures saved to the hard
Doesn't
drive.
upload to the cloud. The Pokecloud.
It's got a very limited Wi-Fi range. In
She
fact,
needs to upgrade.
you may or may not notice when you come into a location like a Pokestop or something like that that has built-in Wi-Fi, the Pokedex itself hits that, and it uploads any data that you may have collected along the way. So
Okay.
scanning various Pokemon, those sort of things. As you do so, you don't recognize it, but while it gives you a readout of basic information on this Pokemon, it also stores data based on its size, the region that you discovered
Oh, you know,
it.
so we probably should be doing this a
geographical
lot
location.
more for Professor. We're really bad at the scanning Pokemon thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Even those-
explicitly
Scan the
explained
copies of
either.
Weezing.
That's true. She did say like catching and stuff like that. which
Yep.
is important.
Yeah, it's almost a secondary function. You gather that perhaps Larch isn't as interested as some other Pokemon professors in the Pokedex
She wants
information that you gather. The Pokemon firsthand are interesting to her, and you haven't spent much time talking to her to gather what her specialty is or what she truly is looking for. But she didn't mention this to you explicitly. It's just through having them and noting them along your journey.
Yeah.
Well, I say we make it back to Caleb. Where are you from?
I am from. Hold on a sec. Well, I pull this.
He's had a
up.
hard day. He forgot.
Yeah. He hit his head really hard when he hit the water.
Let me just reference. Cause I'm from Salt City.
Where's that?
From Salt City?
Yeah,
Is that on the map?
it is.
Can you kind of direct me to where it is on the map so I have an idea?
Look to the far east.
Is it that big one by the lake?
Salt City is the northernmost, easternmost city.
Northernmost eastern. He came from all the way over there?
Jeebus.
You guys looking at the map?
Yeah.
Wait, is that where you're taking all this back to?
No. I told you I'm working with my father to put on a fireworks display in Haventown
Right.
for the festival.
Right.
We
Yeah.
traveled
Sorry.
from Salt City.
It's like, what? Change of plans. We're not going to see these fireworks.
Oh, I would totally go to see the fireworks anyways.
Okay, so Haventown, we're south of it right now, right?
You're north of it.
North of it
North
right
of
now.
it.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I totally know where we are on this map. Not an outlander in this campaign.
Haventown is where we were coming from. With
Right.
Exploud.
Right, because we ran her there.
Yeah.
So
and
we'd
we
be
wanted to
heading
get
back
to this
south.
mountain to get some rock types, but that
Right.
didn't quite pan out.
Yeah.
We need more Pokeballs.
Well, technically, you both caught a rock type.
I was hoping for anything with range or
Oh, yeah,
flying
right.
capabilities.
Oh, Bonsly at range.
But I'd want to level the bonsai up before.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, let's make our way back to Haventown. When are these fireworks happening, Kalen?
Well, tonight are the opening ceremonies, and tomorrow night would be like if we start heading back right now, we can probably hit Haventown tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Actually, that to get this stuff back, we probably need to start leaving. right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably go.
So Jackson, when we're in Haventown, we should maybe consider getting some odd jobs.
Yeah, we need a little money. I've noticed I'm getting a little short.
Yeah, Pokeballs are good and all, but rope, climbing gear, another bedroll.
Yep. Rope, more bedroll. I haven't had a bedroll in a while now, I just realized.
Yeah, and even things like climbing gear or like other things that might come in handy.
Yeah, like a lockpick set or something.
A life jacket.
Yes.
I'm just thinking, prepare for the
Yeah.
worst. Plan
Might
for
as
the
well.
best of intentions, prepare for the worst.
How long have you guys
I-
been Pokemon trainers?
How long have we been traveling, Jackson?
Yeah, it's like, I was gonna. I can't remember.
A few
off the top of
weeks?
my head.
Maybe a month?
Maybe. How long has it been, Steve?
Trying to do the mental
In
math.
the game. So I'm trying to as well. It's been at least a month.
I think it's been at least a month, but it hasn't been very long.
No, I think you're going on 3 weeks.
See? Almost a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite a month. Please don't take us as the best example of a Pokemon trainer at this point, is basically what we're saying.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But maybe
I'm sure you'll get there.
maybe don't count us as the worst. I'm sure there's people that are worse.
I'm sure there are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one to toss shade. You guys, you saved me.
Yeah, and aren't you excited? We have the whole way back to Haventown to discuss what you want to go to do at school.
Yeah.
And then you can face your father with confidence because you'll know what you want to do.
Okay. Sounds.
We might not be the best Pokemon trainers, but we are certainly adept at inserting ourselves into people's lives without
Matt
them wanting us
is
to.
frozen.
Yep. I changed the battery.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I was like, this is scary.
Kind of scratches the back of his head. Wonderful. Good. I look forward to it.
We're just teasing, but it would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate the support. Are we?
I mean, between all the moments
We're
of
walking.
absolute terror,
Walking and talking,
it
Steven.
was fun.
We're walking and talking. When we do get to the top, because we just pretend to put, we didn't actually lock it back up.
Right.
We just pretended. We're gonna lock it all back up.
Okay.
Like we would never heal.
Okay. Yeah, you guys move through the gate and lock it back up. And yeah, by all appearances, you were never here.
Did Mama Exploud stay down there?
She sort of followed you up, just expectantly. And as you close the gate, she maybe got the gist a little bit. And she looks up at you and she mimics what you did.
Hey, Billy, wave back.
We'll come back and visit.
Billy waves.
But just to visit, like nothing dangerous. We'll come back to visit.
You see her look behind you, and she's quickly joined by the Whimsmer and a number of these little bonsly who all stand there and look. The Whimsmer goes and waves softly, mimicking what Billy is doing. And all of the little bonsly, without appendages, shake the fronds on the top of their head. And they all go.
Oh my god, I don't know what I did. I'm carrying around a really big brook. What did I do?
Huh?
I don't know. I was trying to like type note things and then I was carrying around a really big brook on my computer and it was scary.
Yeah, Mother Exploud gets the gist. And as you guys turn and you move off into the field in the midday sun, the clouds now breaking, the drizzle starting to slow and come to a stand. You hear the sound of trumpeting behind you, and it grows fainter and fainter and fainter.
Like upset or?
No, just sort of,
Okay.
yeah, her typical, almost more cheerful, whatever.
Did this place have a name?
Not that you witnessed.
We can ask about it when we get back to town.
Okay. And this is probably a good time to end it, as we close out that chapter.
Well,
So,
I put in my notes where Mama Exploud is and said I gotta go visit her.
yeah, you do.
Gotta check up on that pure sweet.
Southern Belle.
Yeah.
Southern Belle.
She's so precious. You just gotta.
My baby.
My baby.
Well, that's all. That's it. That's all we got.
Bye.
Are there some things you gotta say?
There are. So, thank you everybody for coming out. If you liked what you saw, heard, etc., be sure to like, comment, subscribe, whatever
Yeah.
you are listening
Follow
to
on
this on.
Twitch. Follow on Mixer. Subscribe on Twitch would be amazing.
Yeah, we appreciate all your support. Tell your friends about us. We have a lot
Tell
of
your
fun
grandma.
here. Hopefully you have fun listening to us. Sending out a thank you to @JoeTheDM for all the hard work he puts into the homebrew that we're working on or playing with right now. You can find that for yourself to play along at www.pokemon5e.com. Again, thank you to Mikkel_Beats for the Pokemon and Chill soundtrack that you heard lots of today. Thank you to @Uwoobi for the player tokens that we utilized. Thank you
Sylvester Handel.
to Kevin McLeod of Incompetech.com for the music you're hearing right now, as well as a couple other tunes you heard here today. We will be back on, I don't know,
April, I don't think.
not until April. Do you have anything that you're doing this week, Matt?
Are you guys streaming Friday?
Yeah. Tomorrow, I guess, yeah, we're not back with more Pokemon D&D until April, but
Oh, yeah.
tomorrow is going to be some more Code Vein, and then Friday, we gotta figure out what we're doing during quarantine time. Probably maybe more Paladins, we gotta talk.
Yeah. And then, yeah, of course, more Pokemon D&D is for April the 6th, same time, Satan Bat channel.
Satan
7
that
o'clock.
channel?
Same bat time, same bat channel. Is that how that goes?
Oh. I just heard Satan channel, and I was like,
I heard
Yes.
Satan channel
On the
too.
Satan channel.
On Satan.
Um,
I just didn't say anything because I was like, yeah.
that's a pretty old stereotype.
And if you're still
a little
listening and you have
dated.
any suggestions for what the heck we should call this episode, feel free to ring in at 1-800
Too many deaths.
Too Many Deaths. And let us know what you think. All right?
A
Between
brush
rock
with death. I don't know.
Miss Producer, do you want to roll us out of here?
They buy and it end stream.
That's the one.
Hey!